Today, only one thing matters.
The battle's coming now.
The path that led you here. Forget it.
The fury shakes the ground.
Forget the winds.
I've come to take my crown.
Forget the losses. Forget the pressure. And embrace this moment.
This is my moment.
Because once that green flag drops, it's a battle to the finish. What lies on the other side? A champion.
I am the champion.
It's Championship Race Day on FS1.
The competition has brought us here to this moment. The Championship 4 race is upon us in Arizona, where the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series will find out tonight under the lights at Phoenix Raceway what team will rise to the occasion. It's a four-man duel in the desert, and only one can be named a champion. We're going to break it all down here on Race Day on FS1, and let's look at our playoff bracket. Since Gateway in August, our playoffs have been going. We began with 10 and worked those drivers down to 8 at Las Vegas. After a thriller less than a week ago, we determined our 4 teams who are remaining. They are Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton, and John Hunter Nemechek. They will all battle it out for Truck Series title honors tonight. And we're going to talk about all these teams, of course, here on Race Day. I'm Kayla Vinci alongside my partners here on the trucks, Trevor Bayne, Todd Bodine. Great to see the two of you. And congrats to us. We've made it to this point, right? We've been going since February. Final races here. 4 drivers remain, and what a great 4 it is.
I love the diversity of our Championship 4. You know, first you got the fastest truck all year, John Hunter, with 5 wins. And then you got Mr. Consistency, right? Ben Rhodes. He wins the first 2 out of the gate, and then he was consistent all year, never got in trouble. And then you got the older guy. I won't call him old, but the older guy.
Do that.
Matt Crafton didn't win any races this year, but he's won 3 of these trophies before. He knows how to get it done. And then a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Zane Smith, when none of us gave him a chance, and he pulls the walk-off win at Martinsville. Awesome.
Very impressive. Hey, and Trevor, he's wearing his ring tonight. You see that?
He's just flexing on us a little bit, you know, just showing off. Got the shine he's going. But,
yes,
you know,
nice.
These guys tonight are battling for one of those, and they're pumped about it. They all got here different ways, like you were talking about. But the truth is, this is the only race that matters. You know, the rest of the season is behind them. Thankfully for some of these guys, Martinsville's behind them. Last week was crazy, and, you know, that was just to make it to the championship for us. So can you guys imagine what this actual championship race is going to be like?
I can, but we are going to find out shortly. And the playoffs, they have been exciting all throughout the last couple of weeks. And sure enough, it came down to the elimination race at Martinsville Speedway to determine just exactly who would make it through. So it all came down to an overtime finish, coming to the white flag. Zane Smith was on the inside, and that blue 52 is Stuart Friesen, who was in a must-win situation himself. He got into the 38 of Todd Gillen. Todd took the white flag, spinning sideways. Zane Smith and the 21 just inches ahead when the caution came out to end the race. The walk-off moment, it propelled Zane to today's Championship 4 race, and of course, a shot at the title as well. So good for Zane Smith, but a lot of things happening in that race. I know you referenced it earlier, but do you think we're going to see more of that kind of action tonight?
I think we could. I mean, the only difference is now we know who the Championship 4 are.
True.
There's not as many guys
not as
that
much math to do.
That's right. Not as much math. No cutoff lines for Michael Waltrip. But, you know, the truth is, the intensity is just going to keep creeping up, and these guys have fought, like I said, all season long to get here. So I don't think it's going to stop now. I think that action continues. Now, these guys are going to be a little bit more calculated, and maybe some of the non-playoff drivers will stay out of the mix. Like last week, we saw a John Hunter Nemechek. We saw Matt Crafton get into it with a non-playoff guy. So that may be a little calmer, but for the Championship 4, it's just going to amp up.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of drama like we did last week, but last week's different. You know, it's a lot of bumping and banging and rooting and gouging and a lot of that video game mentality. But tonight we have no reset button.
No,
simulation's too real now.
It's the real deal, man. These are 4 guys, man. They're racing for their lives. They're racing for that trophy. They cannot afford to get involved in any of that video game mentality. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Well, you mentioned they're racing for the trophy. There's also extra incentive, racing for extra money on the line from Camping World. $140,000 will go to the champion, and then $50,000 to the driver and $25,000 to the road crew for the team who has led the most laps this season, which is a tight battle between John Hunter and Sheldon Creed. Creed has 602 laps led to John Hunter's 572, so that will be exciting to watch as well. So how will things play out in Phoenix? We have 3 pit reporters to help tell us. Our boots on the ground all throughout the show and the race tonight. Josh Sims, Regan Smith, and Jamie Little. So now we join Jamie, who has the latest on our most recent race winner, Zane Smith. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Caitlin, what a week it's been for Zane Smith. You guys talked about that huge win, the win of his career on Saturday. Well, after that race was Xfinity, and Zane's good friend, Noah Gragson, got that win. So the two celebrated Saturday night. But since then, it's been 100% focus on this race tonight. I talked to Zane. He said this is such a different deal than last year. All the media attention, all the fans that are here, he's feeling the pressure. In fact, he told me he reached out to 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson to ask his advice of how to handle today and going into this championship race. Coming up, Zane will join me. I'll ask him what that advice was from Jimmie Johnson and what he thinks of this truck today and his chances of taking home that championship tonight.
Thank you, Jamie. Jimmie Johnson, certainly a great person to learn from, that is to say the least. So let's take a look at our 4 drivers. Who's had the most appearances to the Championship 4 round? Matt Crafton, this is his 4th appearance, 2nd for Zane Smith. He finished P2 last season, and 1st Championship 4 appearance for John Hunter and Ben Rhodes. All 4 of these drivers have had their share of ups and downs throughout the course of the season. Here is a look back.
When a season winds down, title pressure naturally ramps up. 2021, however, saw that pressure go to a whole new level.
I mean, he just flat wrecked it.
Well, a lot of hurt feelings when you come to Martinsville.
So it's Zane, us, Matt, and John Hunter.
As the trucks closed out the round of 8 and decided a championship 4. 4 come to Phoenix for 1 night and 1 championship.
John Hunter Nemechek does it as a tricky triangle.
John Hunter Nemechek isn't just motivated to finish on top. He needs to finish on top. His 5 wins won the regular season, and by moving back to the trucks, John Hunter exercised a few demons.
John Hunter Nemechek holding off the boss, Kyle Busch.
3 for 5 against Kyle is pretty good odds.
He's the only driver in either the Trucks or Xfinity Series to outrun his boss, Kyle Busch, to win. And he did it 3 times this season. But let's be honest, John Hunter's playoffs haven't necessarily gone as expected. Sure, there's been speed, but for one reason or another, he hasn't had a postseason win. And that, you gotta believe, raises some doubt. Now, that leads us to another early winner who's been absent from victory lane.
Big crash, and Ben Rhodes going around the outside and across the line. Ben Rhodes, the winner.
That's 2 in a row. Daytona, baby.
Back to back to open the season.
Ben Rhodes started the season as the driver to beat. However, he's had to fight through the playoffs. He squeaked into the round of 8 and then gamely raced through the carnage at Martinsville to join Nemechek in the Championship 4. Yet would-be first-time champs are aware of the veteran who's been here and done that thrice.
Matt Crafton wins his 3rd Truck Series championship.
Matt Crafton is a veteran of 20 full seasons in the trucks and a 3-time series champion. He hasn't finished outside of the top 10 in the season standings since 2006. 2021 has seen a mix of struggle and shine.
What an amazing job by Matt Crafton.
That may have just saved his championship hopes.
Matt hasn't gone to victory lane this year, but then again, he never won when he took his last championship. Walking out with his 4th title would leave him tied with Ron Hornaday Jr. for the most crowns ever. How about the wild card who shuffled his way into this title deck? Zane Smith trailed through the playoffs, but did just enough to advance through each round. And then came the thrilling walk-off green-white checker win at Martinsville.
It's 3 wide as they come to the line. The white flag is out. They took the white. They took the white. And the caution is out. He had to win, and he did.
Zane is dangerous on this day. He went to the Championship 4 last year, and thanks to that Martinsville win, he's got a glit in his eye and a renewed spring in his step. Nemechek, Rhodes, Crafton, Smith, all of them are dangerous, but only one of them will be the 2021 NASCAR Truck Series champion.
There you have have it. There's the path that all four of those drivers have taken. Let's dive into these teams a little bit deeper and do who checks the boxes for some categories. And I want to start with you. Who do you believe of the four is strongest at restarts, Trevor?
Well, restarts are hugely important here at Phoenix. They're 4, 5, 6 wide. But the guy that stands out to me is Zane Smith. Last week at Martinsville, that was the most important restart of the season, in my opinion, and he got it done.
Yeah. Zane Smith delivering on those restarts for sure. Okay, next category, strongest shot caller. And of course, we're referring to the crew chief, the guy on top of the pit box. What team you going with, Todd?
Okay, well, we got 3 of these guys that got a lot of experience on the box. They've all been in this championship run before. Uncle Eric Phillips, we got Bono Mannion and Junior Joyner, right?
All the nicknames.
We got all the nicknames, but the one guy that doesn't have a nickname is Rich Lucius. Rich is no dummy, let me tell you something. He's got a lot of racing experience, done a great job all year. But if you're going to make me pick one,
yeah, I got to pick one.
I'm going to go with Uncle Eric just because he's got the most experience.
Maybe we need to come up with a nickname for Rich, by the way. That brings up that point. Okay, so strongest at managing emotion and not getting rattled. Who do you think? Any of them?
I don't know that any are completely exempt from this, but the strongest, I would say, is Ben Rhodes. Okay. I mean, Matt Crafton and John Hunter Nemechek have their little feud going on still. You know, we haven't seen Zane Smith in this position a whole lot. He's been there once before, but I'm going to go Ben Rhodes.
Yeah, good choice there. Ben Rhodes has kind of kept himself out of the feuds as of this season. Let's go ahead and join Josh Sims out at the racetrack for the latest on Ben Rhodes. Hey, Josh.
Of managing emotions, Ben Rhodes says this is the most focused he's been going into a race, but also the most relaxed he's felt. But don't get it twisted. Once that green flag drops, you are going to see the return of the aggressive Ben Rhodes. He said that win, or those 2 wins at Daytona and where he was in the standings, allowed him to race a little more calculated this season, or as he put it, handcuffed him during the season in terms of just how aggressive he was going to be. But the gloves are off, and tonight he's going to do whatever it takes to get a win and become a champion. And coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to catch up with Ben Rhodes to find out how relaxed he's still feeling as we get ever closer to that green flag dropping, and how his great practice session and qualifying have set him up to run well here tonight. Caitlin?
Thank you, Josh. Great insight there. We look forward to hearing that interview. So the next category I want to throw at you is strongest at being there at the end, the most important, right? What do you think?
Well, I got to go with John Hunter on this one. Mainly because he's got 5 wins on the year, so he's always there.
Kind of a big deal.
But the other stat that's really impressive is 50% of the time he's in the top 5. So he's always, him and Uncle Eric have figured out how to adjust their truck and get it to the front at the end of the race.
I want to see how many times we can say Uncle Eric in this show. I'm really digging that. It's too good. All right, let's hear more about John Hunter Nemechek and join Regan Smith out at the racetrack. Hey, Regan.
Well, Caitlin, undoubtedly, the truck that everybody has been chasing for the majority of the season is the Ford truck of John Hunter Nemechek. Today, not so much the case, though. Some struggles in practice for this truck, not the speed that we've come to expect from them. And in qualifying, they qualified 16th, the worst of all of our playoff competitors. That's the bad news. The good news is they had a plan coming into this race. It's exactly what they thought would happen. They didn't anticipate being the best truck in practice. They anticipated this truck being good tonight in the race. And John Hunter also just off of the Xfinity Series practice, the fastest race car here in that practice. So a lot of laps for him. He's feeling pretty good based on that. Coming up, we will talk to him and get his last second feelings before he gets ready to hop into the truck and go out and run for that championship, as well as the guy that I think you and Todd call the old guy, maybe, Matt Crafton.
Oh, Regan, he is not going to be happy with us for that one. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup where our Championship 4 drivers are going to roll off for the race tonight. Starting 4th is Ben Rhodes. Behind him, Matt Crafton. And 13th roll off will be Zane Smith. And the lowest of the group, John Hunter Nemechek, he will start 16th for the race today. So what did Champ 4 think about this race coming up shortly? Here's their thoughts from Media Day.
I wouldn't want to be in their shoes right now and try to sleep tonight.
The moment is here. Now we just have to go out and capitalize and win.
To be crowned a champion, you have to be 100% perfect.
I had a shot at it last year, and I came so close, so I really want this.
I've been pretty anxious. I'm not nervous, but I've been dying to get to Phoenix. As soon as the checkered flag dropped at Martinsville, I've just wanted to be here.
From the year I've had to winning at Martinsville and being in this position is just, one word to describe it is just wild.
Zane Smith, it's 3 wide as they come to the line. The white flag is out. Remember, Smith's got to win. He had to do it. He had to win, and he did.
excited, focused, determined, ready to go.
I know there's a lot riding on it. I've studied a lot and thought a lot, but don't let it wear me out.
John Hunter Nemechek, he sees all the movement that the 88 truck has. He understands he's got to respect that, but he also knows he's got to push. He hit a racetrack.
I wouldn't think it would be that way in the Final Four, and I hope it wouldn't, especially for whoever decides to do it.
You need to focus on what you need to focus on. That's going out and trying to win a race and a championship. And whatever that takes, you got to do it.
People say, oh, there's a lack of respect in the Truck Series. I just don't think anybody cuts anybody slack. It's if you slip up once, you're gone. It doesn't matter what you're racing for.
At the end of the day, whoever puts the best race together is most likely going to win the championship.
And we heard Zane Smith right there. He was saying the word that describes it is wild, which is pretty accurate to describe the entire season we have had so far. All right, we just heard from the Championship 4 from earlier in the week. Just ahead, we will catch up with drivers as the seconds count down to our start. First up, we'll hear what's on John Hunter Nemechek's mind. Is there any additional pressure from bossman Kyle Busch? And later, also on the show, Ben Rhodes. He is going to weigh in on his expectations on how this race in Phoenix may play out. Welcome back to Race Day with a look at John Hunter Nemechek's truck. First appearance in the Championship 4 for him. He's had a very solid campaign for Kyle Busch Motorsports this season. One of the drivers who's hoping to get his first ever title in the Truck Series tonight. He will start 16th for the race today. And Johnny on the spot, as we're calling him. Here's his stats on the year. 5 wins, 11 stage wins, and 12 top 5s. It is good enough to get you to the Championship 4. But his postseason, it has had its shares of ups and downs. Take a look.
Yes, John Hunter Nemechek has been dominant at times, but championships don't come easy.
We're now seeing brake issues on John Hunter Nemechek's truck.
Look at John Hunter putting the pedal down, trying to take that lead from Creed, but couldn't quite close the deal.
2 KBM trucks battling for the lead.
To be that close and not get the job done definitely hurts.
Nemechek is off the pace.
Just shuts off under power.
He wrecks Nemechek, and it's Fogelman.
I made a move too late and cost myself the win right there.
That's a bold move for somebody that's not up front a lot.
And that was a big hit. John Hunter Nemechek survived despite a DNF and will race for the title at Phoenix.
Even with the tough moments, John Hunter has still been able to survive the rounds and make his way to the Championship 4. And right now, Regan is standing by at the track with driver 4.
Well, Caitlin, it's been a very up and down playoffs for John Hunter Nemechek, but all that matters is that you are here at Phoenix racing for the championship. How do you feel about tonight?
I'm excited to go. I think I learned something there in Xfinity practice with our Toyota Supra. Hopefully I can apply some things over here to our Toyota Tundra. We had a plan coming in today, a little bit conservative of a plan, and wish that we wouldn't have had that plan, I guess. But overall, we have to dig ourselves out of a hole, starting a little bit further back, the worst playoff truck so far. So just have to go get it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to #here for wins. So excited for tonight. I think that we can get the job done, just continue to work on it all night, and be there at the end when it counts. That's all that matters.
You mentioned those extra laps in the Xfinity Series practice. Very quick in that 54 race car for Joe Gibbs Racing. What has the track changed like so far? And what could you transfer to your crew chief, Eric Phillips, that's going to help you out here in a little bit?
Yeah, I can't give you all those secrets, but racetrack, it has definitely changed a little bit here. I'm excited for tonight to see how much the racetrack widens out. I definitely think that it'll widen out quite a bit. So we're already one groove up. Now I think we'll be 2 or 3.
Certainly been the guy to beat most of this season. Caitlin, a little bit of an added advantage on top of it now as he heads into tonight's championship race.
Thanks, Regan. John Hunter has definitely been very strong throughout the course of the year. Let's do a little buy or sell with some questions on John Hunter. And I want to start with you, Todd. John Hunter needs to win the title. Buy or sell?
I'm buying that. You know, it's been 3 years since KBM has had a driver in our Championship 4. And John Hunter was brought into this race team by Kyle, by Toyota and TRD to win races and to win the championship. There's no doubt about it. We all know that. He's won the races, got 5 wins.
Yeah.
Tonight's the night. He's got to go out there and get this championship to solidify what these people put in his faith they put in him. So it's going to be a good night.
Anything less than the title would probably be a disappointment for that team. So for you, Trevor, John Hunter has lost momentum. Buy or sell? What are you saying?
Can I like sell that, buy it back, maybe for more? I don't know.
You got to buy or sell here.
All right, I'm going to sell it because he's had the best season, in my opinion, of all of our playoff guys. And not only did he come here for KBM, but he came here for John Hunter Nemechek to rebuild. And I think he's done that this season. He's really had a lot of success. But, you know, the last couple weeks have slowed down that momentum. He needs to get it back in gear and get it done tonight for the reason he came here to do it.
Speaking of slowing down, he's starting 16th for the race tonight. Any concern with him starting that deep in the field?
I mean, I have a little bit of concern, you know, looking at the practice times, looking at qualifying, because there are other trucks on the racetrack. Not for the raw speed, you know, they'll figure this truck out and get back to the front. But things can happen. I mean, these crazy restarts here. He's 16th. There's a lot of trucks in front of him that could have some trouble.
Yeah, John Hunter starting 16th, likely, though, will not stay there. All right, last time out, Zane Smith. He had a walk-off win to propel him to the Championship 4 for the second time. Later on race day, we hear from Zane on his chances at a potential title in the Truck Series. Stay with us right here on FS1. Welcome back to race day with a look at Zane Smith's truck. He is one of the guys eyeing the title tonight. In back-to-back years, he has now made the Championship 4 round in Phoenix, and a year ago, he finished second. He's hoping to better that by 1 position tonight. And it was in dramatic fashion that Zane was able to secure his spot in the final round and ultimately his 3rd career win in the Truck Series. Here's a look back at the pressure-filled elimination race that was at Martinsville.
Pull those belts tight. This is it. NASCAR overtime at Martinsville for a chance to race for the championship. They got him loose. The contact now. Zane Smith on the inside, making it 3 wide. The white flag is out. Gibble with the white. The caution is out. Smith is the winner. He had to do it. He had to win, and he did. Wow. Did we just see what we just saw? Wow.
And the driver who survived the melee and the owner of a new Martinsville clock was Zane Smith. Jamie Little caught up with Zane earlier at the track.
And Zane came into that Martinsville race 40 points below the cut line. So the only thing you could do was win, and you did it, Zane. And now that you're here, how do you feel like you stack up to the other 3 competitors?
I mean, I really don't know right now. I feel like this track just goes in such big swings. So, like I said, I have no doubt in my team at all. I know we're close, but it's so hard to tell with all the heat cycles we put on our tires through practice, and then qualifying right there, just 1 lap. So the 4 is right there with us as well. So I think we're gonna race good. We'll just have to wait and see.
I know in practice it didn't go as planned. There were some things you dealt with. Would it just have been easier to put all that aside and just jump in and race?
Yeah, but I mean, story of my 2021 season is so much adversity. So I've honestly gotten used to just handling it. So I think that's going to be the story of tonight. I feel like that's what's gotten us to the Final 4, so we're all ready.
I could feel a little bit of nerves, the weight of today, and you told me you were going to reach out to 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson. What did he tell you about handling today?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy is just so approachable and always there to help, and obviously he's done this once or twice and he's pretty good at it. So I don't know, he was at the top of my list for who I want to reach out to and just get some advice. I mean, I went through this last year, but it was a lot different. We didn't have any of the media, any of really buddy at the track. It was just so fast. We showed up, raced, and left. So now we practice, qualify, and race, and dealt with media day. So the best advice he kind of gave me was just be myself and ignore all the hype and go get done.
All right, Zane Smith representing Huntington Beach, California, looking for his 1st career championship. Caitlin?
Thank you, Jamie. Good to get advice from Jimmie Johnson, no question about that. All right, time now for a little I Say, You Say, where I throw out a statement about Zane Smith and you 2 weigh in. So I say, Todd, that Zane Smith hasn't been fast enough to win the title. What do you say to that?
I say if you look at his regular season, he actually all the way up to Martinsville, I'd say probably right. You know, 1 top 5 in this regular season, only 12 top 10s, didn't have a lot of speed, but guess what? The team with the 12th best record in Major League Baseball just won the World Series. So, yes, he can go out there tonight, and he can win this race. There's no reason.
I like that. Good analogy there. All right, Trevor, I say Zane lacks the experience to win the title. You say what?
Well, I mean, at first glance, you think about John Hunter Nemechek and Ben Rhodes. You would think they've got all this experience over him. And Matt Crafton, we won't even go there. But for him, he has been here and battled for a championship. He won last week. So, I don't know. That's a tough thing. I say the inexperience hurts him a little bit here, but we'll see.
I say you might both be wrong. Well, you might be right. I'm giving.
I didn't really give you an answer there. I don't know how you
championship. Yeah. Well, we'll see how Zane Smith fares. All right, we got plenty more race day coming your way. Ben Rhodes, he has been racing in the truck since 2014, but this is his first visit to the Championship 4. We will hear from Ben next on his chances to win the biggest prize in the series. Stay with us on FS1. Welcome back to Race Day with a look at the 99 truck of Ben Rhodes. He has been racing in the series since all the way back in 2014, but he is making his very first visit to the Championship 4 round to run for a title. He starts 4th tonight, best of the Championship 4 drivers. And Ben started out the 2021 season hot with 2 wins right out of the gate and has steadily made his way through the rounds, but it hasn't come without a share of hardships in the postseason. Take a look.
Ben Rhodes, never been a champion before.
Just want to capitalize on a good run that we're having.
You're going to try the slide job? Just ran out of room.
Sorry, guys. Thanks for the effort. We got to be better. This is not going to get us to Phoenix.
Ben Rhodes, can he get the win tonight? Oh, and the caution comes out with Eckes in front.
Rhodes is showing the confidence on these plate races.
Bad break for Rhodes, one of our championship contenders.
In the 99, it's like, hey, you gonna let me go, buddy, or what's going on here?
Yeah, it'd been nice to get a top 5 or to chase the grandfather clock, but we're here for Phoenix. It comes down to 1 race now, and I know we can do it.
And we're saying all roads lead to Phoenix. See what we did there? Very clever. 2 wins on the year, 2 stage wins, and 7 top 5s. It is good enough to get you to the Championship 4 round. So how is Ben feeling for today? Josh Sims, he's standing by with him out at the racetrack.
Ben Rhodes, top 5 in qualifying, top 5 in practice. Basically, you got a fast truck here tonight. How much confidence does that give you heading into this championship race?
Yeah, I mean, it's a consistent Bombardier Tundra, so I'll give it that. Consistency builds confidence, and yeah, in practice to qualifying, it was nice and comfortable to drive, which I really like at a place like this where you got to charge the corners and be aggressive on the restarts. I'm not the happiest on starting 4th. I'd rather be on the inside here, especially on the initial start, but I'm not going to be too worried about it. I know we got 150 laps. It'll fan out and spread out, and we'll see what we have compared to our competition. But I've got Todd Gillen right there next to me. I'm racing in from the Jonas Championship, and we got Matt Crafton right there behind me, too. Drivers Championship. So I've got like multiple different battles going on at the same time. Those guys just have to worry about me. I've got to worry about both of them. So it's going to be an exciting night for sure.
Having said all that, you said when you arrived here in Phoenix, it's the most relaxed you've been. Great nights of sleep. Now that we're about to start this thing, are you still feeling relaxed inside, or how are you feeling?
More relaxed the closer we get, honestly. I mean, after Martinsville, I was just anxious. I just wanted to be here. I just wanted to be in the truck. And the more time I spend in the truck, the happier I get. It's weird. I enjoy it. I love racing, and being in these Tundras is what makes me happy. It's my comfortable spot, and if I can just get in the truck right now, all the nerves are gone, everything's gone, and I'm just relaxed and happy.
Ben Rhodes rolling off 4th tonight, looking to be the first Thor Sport driver not named Crafton to win a championship. Caitlin?
Thanks, Josh. That's a good point for sure. Ben Rhodes seems very happy, very calm. He's always happy when he's racing in the truck series. So where's the intensity meter, though, you think, for this team, Todd?
I think it's got to be up there. I mean, you're in the Championship 4, man. Yeah. It's got to be up there. But, you know, if you look at Ben's first 5 years in this series, he's always been very intense, right? But we've seen a different Ben this year, and I think winning those first 2 races out of the gate kind of afforded him the luxury of staying calm, cool, and collected, knowing that he was into the first round of the playoffs. And we've seen a different Ben, and I think it's going to show up tonight. You know, he gets behind the wheel now, and he thinks differently. He has a different thought process, and I think it's going to be a good night for him.
You know, and the thing I'll say, though, he's had a lot of time to think about Phoenix. So what does that do to a person when they've been thinking about something over and over? Even before Martinsville last weekend, he talked about Phoenix before the race even took place, and we all said, man, he's got to make it there first. So what does that do to somebody when they sit there and think about this one race, and puts a lot of pressure on themselves? So I hope he can handle that.
Well, we heard him say that when he gets in a truck, that pressure goes away. That was the way it was for me. I don't know about you, Trevor, but when I got in it's a comfort place, your happy place.
Happy place. And he's starting 4th. Does that take some of the pressure off of him being up front there?
I mean, I heard him after practice talking about how much he liked his truck. It was comfortable, and now it's got speed. So he's starting to check those boxes like we were talking about earlier. I mean, he's glad that he's got a good truck, and that makes your night a lot easier when you start up front.
Yeah, Ben Rhodes, will be interesting to watch him. He's going after his first title in the Truck Series today. But let's go to next week. Thursday is Veterans Day. We are making camo our cause in support of the Honor U.S. Vets campaign and the belief that our veterans deserve to live with dignity and independence, not on the streets. You can do the same by wearing camo and posting with hashtag Honor U.S. Vets. And for more information on how you can help U.S. vets and veteran homelessness, visit usvets.org. Still to come here on race day, we discuss the last driver who's in the championship hunt, the veteran and past champ of Matt Crafton. Can he win 4 titles in the series? He is starting 5th tonight. We will hear from him next. Stay with us right here on FS1. Welcome back to race day. Taking a look at driver introductions. There's your championship 4 and, of course, the big championship trophy out in Phoenix for the race this evening. These 4 guys are hoping they will potentially be the ones to hoist that trophy when it's all said and done. Looking at Matt Crafton, he is a multi-champ in the Truck Series. Let's look at the other guys who are as well. Right now, Ron Hornaday, he leads the series with 4 titles. Matt Crafton has 3, could potentially catch Ron. Jack Sprague with 3. Our own Todd Bodine, he's got 2, only wearing 1 ring, though, today, I might add. All right, so good for these guys that have all been able to get multiple championships in the Truck Series. It is very difficult to do, but I want to focus on Matt Crafton for a moment and give reasons as to why we believe he could win this title and why potentially not. So we'll start with you. 2 reasons why Matt Crafton could be our champion.
Well, this is a tough one, but for me, the reasons he will are 1, experience, not age. Number 2 is that ThorSport was really good at Gateway. They had 4 trucks in the top 4. Gateway is a track we all kind of look at to say, what's going to happen at Phoenix? So I think with his team being that strong at that type of racetrack, that's going to be really good for Matt Crafton.
That's a pretty good argument there for driver 80. Yeah, good points. Now you give me 2 reasons why he may not be our champion, Todd.
Bad track.
Bad track just for him, or you want
just for him? Yeah,
not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
You know, Matt. You know, the last 10 years, he's only had 3 top 5s at this racetrack, or last 10 races rather.
Yeah.
3 top 5s at the track, and the last one was 10 races ago, or 5 races ago. So this has not been a good racetrack for Matt. Now we heard him earlier in the week talking about looking forward to racing here because the track is wearing out, and he thinks he's got a good setup. Maybe that's so because he qualified 5th today, so I could be wrong.
Yeah,
he wants him to change this track out next year. He's like, can we get this on a rotation? Maybe switch this one back out again?
Well, we've given our reasons. Let's go ahead and hear from the guy himself. Matt Crafton, he's standing by with Regan Smith out at the racetrack.
Caitlin, 3 championships already from Matt Crafton. Looking for the 4th one tonight. Some big numbers. You can tie Ron Hornaday tonight. How much have you been thinking about that?
Not at all. I just go out here and do my job. It's another race. Just a little more pressure on everybody else. And just go out there and have fun. And I mean, I get to do what I love to do. And you got to thank Duke and Ron at Thorson, Menards, and hopefully we can bring home another one for him.
Caitlin, he's been loose all day long. Matt Crafton is just another race to him. He's already got 3 championships.
But we know that he would like 1 more, Regan, of course. So let's take a look at the ages of our championship 4 contenders. Like Fine wine, we are saying Matt Crafton. He is 21 years older than the next two competitors in the hunt. Matt is 45 to Ben Rhodes and John Hunter's 24 years of age. With Zane Smith, he is the youngest of the four drivers, clocking in at 22 years old. All right, let's talk a little football this week. Catch a special Fox NFL Sunday pregame show live from Annapolis at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then at 4, it's one of the biggest games of the year. The Packers take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It all kicks off Sunday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. We got more race day coming your way. You see the trucks, they are gridded, ready to go out on the West Coast. In Phoenix, we're getting closer and closer to racing, a little over 21 minutes to the green flag. Stay with us right here on FS1.
In a season of unforgettable moments.
Can we just do that? How about Thor Sport, the top 4 spots? He had to win, and he did.
And respectful disagreements.
Oh, Christian gets turned down onto the apron. Tempers flaring.
4 drivers have emerged to race into history.
He has done it again for the 5th time this year. Then across the line, Ben Rhodes, the winner. Matt Crafton wins his 3rd Truck Series championship. Did we just see what we just saw? Zane Smith has locked himself in.
As these 4 prepare for the battle ahead, drama still looms. It's all on the line in Phoenix. The Trucks Championship starts now.
And what a year it has been. And we're going to look at our Championship 4 contenders. Matt Crafton, he's starting 5th. 3-time champion in the series, hoping to add one more to that list. What about Zane Smith? He is making his 2nd appearance at the Championship 4. Ended up 2nd last season. He's hoping to better that by 1 position. He's our most recent race winner. And Ben Rhodes, he has been racing in the series a long time. Doesn't have a title to his credit yet. 2 wins on the year. Hoping to get the big prize, though, at the end of this night. And John Hunter Nemechek. I mentioned that Ben had 2 wins. Well, John Hunter, he had 5 throughout the course of the season. Certainly a favorite going into the championship hunt this evening. So those are Championship 4 guys. And I want to talk to our champion here on the set with me. Of course, you've won in this series. Show us your ring again. I know I referenced it, or there it is. That is an impressive ring. But it's
1 out of 2 right there.
to get those rings, right? What is the intensity like for drivers at this moment in time?
Let me tell you a little story. These guys are nervous. Don't let them kid you. Well, 2nd race to go, my first championship was right here at Phoenix. Racing Johnny Benson for the championship, and this was one of Johnny's good tracks. So I knew all I had to do was finish in the top 10, maybe get a top 5, just to go to Homestead with a shot to just cap it off. And I was so nervous when we climbed into trucks to roll off. I couldn't fasten my seatbelts.
Oh,
Never happened to me.
That might have been
That's a problem.
They actually held up the trucks from rolling onto the racetrack to give me time to get my seatbelts. That's how nervous I was.
Wow. That's never happened to you, right?
I think I got my belts buckled, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know, Todd, if that was nerves or what.
It's tough.
All right, let's go ahead and do our race picks, which will obviously be our championship picks. And I'm going ahead and start us off. And I'm going with Zane Smith, our guy who won last time out. I think he gets a championship in the Truck Series. My vote is for Zane. Trevor, who's yours?
Pretty good pick. Man, I had John Hunter as my pick all morning, and I called an audible last second.
You did?
I'm going to regret this later probably, but I'm going with Ben Rhodes.
Ben Rhodes, I love it. Okay, so we've got a vote for Zane, vote for Ben. What do you think, Todd?
Well, I tell you what, John Hunter's been the fastest truck all year. They've been able to get their stuff right at the end of the race. Even though he's starting back a little bit, I'm sticking with my boy, John Hunter.
Okay, 3 different picks. It'll be interesting to see how all of them fare. We're getting closer and closer to racing out at Phoenix Raceway for the championship race. So, of course, now we want to go ahead and send it trackside for the pre-race ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present our nation's colors, the Buena High School Color Guard from Sierra Vista, Arizona. Church in Goodyear, Arizona, Paul Lewis.
Let's pray. Our gracious Lord, we thank you so much for who you are and for your continued love for us. God, tonight we ask that you would bless our first responders, our crews, and our officials, without whom we wouldn't even have a race. God, I pray that you would bless these drivers and keep them safe, give them an extra measure of their talent and skill. In Jesus' name, amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome winner of the Voices of the Valley Anthem Competition and proud Navy wife from Peoria, Arizona, Ashley Height.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it for Ashley's performance of our national anthem.
To crown a champion in the Truck Series. It's going to be exciting out at Phoenix. The race coverage, it's starting now.
I can hear
The time has come. The battle comes down to this. So get ready to fight.
John Hunter Nemechek wins.
This is the championship race at Phoenix.
It has finally arrived. A 10-month battle at racetracks around the country comes down to one night in the desert. The season champion is determined tonight. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series finale here at Phoenix Raceway, presented by Blue Emu. Let's go to our pit reporters. They've got the introductory storylines of our Championship 4.
Well, Vince, 22-year-old Zane Smith finds himself in the championship hunt for the second straight year. He came up one spot short last year. He told me, though, today he feels the pressure a little bit more. More media attention, more fans, and the fact he's racing for his future. He called 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson earlier today to get some advice on how to handle tonight. Jimmie told him, focus on your race, drown out everything else. The California kid hopes to do just that and bring home his first career championship. Josh Sims.
Well, Jamie, of the playoff drivers, Ben Rhodes was the fastest during practice and the fastest during qualifying. He is confident in himself and his equipment, and he says this is the most relaxed he's been in a long time heading into a race, and winning a championship would be a dream come true, not just for himself, but his crew chief, Rich Lushes. Think about this. These two didn't find out they'd be paired together until 2 weeks before Daytona, and here they are racing for a championship. Regan?
Well, Josh, you and Jamie have talked about two guys who are looking for their first championship, but let me give you a guy who already has 3 of them. Matt Crafton, 3 championships in hand already. That is his advantage tonight. He told me earlier today the rest of these guys are going to be nervous. He knows exactly what those nerves feel like because he felt them in 2013 when he won his first. This year, completely different. It's just another race for him. And then John Hunter Nemechek, the guy who has dominated the majority of this season. 5 wins already, the truck that everybody has chased all year long. He said there's a ton of pressure for him because of the fact that everybody has chased him all year long. If at the end of the night he is not the champion, he said this season will feel empty to him. Nonetheless, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Vince, we've got 4 guys going for their championship in the Truck Series tonight.
Way to set the stage. We are looking forward to it, that's for sure, along with Michael Waltrip and Phil Parsons. I'm Vince Welch. This is the night we've waited for. Not only 4 championship contenders, but 32 others that have an agenda tonight as well. But let's talk about the championship 4 and handicap them a bit here. Mike, let's start with Ben Rhodes. Why he is a guy worthy of winning the championship.
Because he started off the season winning, and he's just been strong and steady. Plus, he's tenacious. He's a guy, you put him down with a 3-lap to go, green, white, checkered, he's going to be all over the gas. I love this kid. I love his aggression. I love how much he pushes the envelope. Plus, our Josh Sims said it. He was the fastest in practice. He's the fastest in qualifying. Ben Rhodes wins this race tonight, Phil.
Michael, from the moment John Hunter Nemechek announced that he was going to drive for KBM in the Truck Series, he immediately became the favorite. And I don't think anything has changed. He's been the favorite all year. He came into the season with 102 Truck Series starts. He'd won 6 times. In 21 starts this year, he's won 5 times. 3 of those times he beat the boss man, Kyle Busch, and not many people get to do that. John Hunter is going to win tonight.
Well, you make a great case, Phil, but I'm going to tell you, if Ben Rhodes doesn't win, Zane Smith gets it done. He won at Martinsville last week. He's on a roll. The team is fast. He's from the West Coast. It's a home game somewhat for him. Zane Smith is going to be really tough tonight. I think it's either going to be Ben or Zane. What do you think?
Michael, none of those guys have won championship. The 4th guy, Matt Crafton, has won 3 of them. Don't count him out just because he hasn't won a race in the regular season. Remember 2019, nobody gave him a chance. He went to Homestead and won that championship. I think Matt Crafton's going to get it done tonight.
I don't think either one of you guys know who's going to win tonight. And that's the fun part about the 150 laps that we're about to see. But before we can get the green, we've got to get the command. So let's go trackside and fire those engines.
Sports, please welcome Lucas Oil event coordinator Greg Cazzo.
NASCAR Nation, this is our championship, so say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
Races this season have set the stage for this night, the night we're going to run for the trophy, the championship race. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Phoenix. What a great racetrack this is.
Crown.
They are 5 wide going into turn number 1. Let's go!
Heavy contact. Getting desperate, making desperate moves.
Big problems here. There it goes. 3 trucks up against the wall.
All racing for that trophy. It is a beautiful one for sure. Tonight's championship race here on FS1 presented by Blue Emu. Beautiful evening in the Arizona desert. Temperatures today up around the mid-80s. Chandler Smith won qualifying earlier today and sits on the pole, his very first pole. And last year's race winner, Sheldon Creed, will start on the front row as well. Ben Rhodes, the best of the championship 4 in qualifying.
Todd Gillen, that 38 truck been awfully fast here lately.
Yeah, one of those two guys I didn't talk about in the open doesn't win it, Phil. I think Todd Gilliland does.
How many picks you gonna get?
What a great race we have in front of us here tonight. Stuart Friesen, really good in practice.
Former winner here too, Mike.
That's right. Hailie Deegan with a top 10 starting spot for herself.
Austin Hill's last ride for Shiggy Hattori back in row number 6.
There's Zane Smith, another one of our championship contenders. It's row 7. John Hunter Nemechek in row 8. Nemechek starting 16th, by the way. That's the furthest back a starter or a winner has started ever at Phoenix. So
we started coming here in 1995, by the way.
It's been done before, so he can do it again tonight.
Drew Dollar driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Dean Thompson making his first start.
Taylor Gray had a top 10 at Martinsville last week.
There's Jordan Anderson, Will Rogers, Chris Hacker, Willie Allen getting the start again in that 25. Tyler Hill coming off a couple of good runs. As you look at our 36 starters in our Camping World starting lineup tonight. How about our track description, Mike?
Yeah, it's brought to you by Camping World, Vince. It's a mile in length, this racetrack. You can see turns 1 and 2, banks slightly less than 3 and 4. And believe me, Phil, if there's asphalt, these drivers will be on it. They'll race all over this surface, not only the racing groove, but down on the apron. Watch for them make passes down in turn 1 and 2, totally off the racetrack.
Take a look at our race analysis. You see this race is 150 laps, 150 miles. Our stages are 45, 45, and 60. Remember, we talked all year about stage points, stage points. For those 4 championship contenders, no stage points. They don't matter. Our pit window somewhere between 80, 85 laps, and our last year's winner, as well as the champion, was Sheldon Creed.
5 racers will carry onboards, including Hailie Deegan in that one, Mike.
Yeah, she's got a Ford onboard camera. Has a bumper cam as well. Starting in the top 10, it's her best start since we raced at Knoxville back in the summer. So great run for Hailie and a great view for us. Look at the fans. Look at how cool this racetrack looks under the lights. This is a beautiful night. We're going to race for a championship.
And each of the 4 championship contenders will carry onboards as well. And let's give a listen to the championship 4, beginning with the 88 and Matt Crafton.
Come on, let's go kick their boys. Working hard for it. Let's go get it. There were some Xfinity cars running. It's J1 both ends, so it should be evenly clean here. My 10 away is about 4 trucks behind that, so when I do 10 away, you pretty much know he's about to show up. It's going to be 2 or 3 on the straight and 6 in the corner.
John Hunter's, he's being quiet.
Very quiet.
Well,
all business.
Vince, if I'm starting 16th, I got some concerns as well. I don't need to be running my mouth. I got to be focusing on what's ahead of me.
But he was the fastest car in Xfinity practice just a little while ago.
And you heard Josh Williams, the spotter for Zane Smith, explaining to Zane that the Xfinity cars were up in the traction compound. You'll see the traction compound when you look at the racetrack. It's darker up top. And these trucks will wind up in that. It'll be interesting. There's the traction compound. You can see how much room there is below it. But we've also seen trucks and cars both run up there in that compound.
Let's go back downstairs, check in one more time before green with our pit reporters, beginning with Jamie Little.
Well, Ben, Zane Smith has a lot of friends and family here, but look on top of the pit box. It's fellow racer Noah Gragson. Both drivers won their big races last Saturday to qualify them for the Championship 4. They're also good buddies. Noah just told me, too, he has this #1 pit box for his Xfinity Championship tomorrow. So rooting for the number 21 here, Josh Sims.
Well, Jamie, a lot of people will be rooting for the 18 because Chandler Smith felt like last week was a punch in the gut, just missing out on the Championship 4. He said that stuck with him all week long, but he had to refocus, knowing he still has a shot to be the Rookie of the Year. He's got 2 third-place finishes here at Phoenix. You saw what he did during qualifying. The 18 team very confident as the pole sitter heading into this race. Regan?
Well, Josh, the other side of that Rookie of the Year battle is the 42 of Carson Hocevar. He, too, is focused tonight on strictly winning that particular battle. He's 3 points behind right now. He knows that he's going to have to be absolutely perfect tonight if he's going to make up those 3 points to win the Rookie of the Year. This is going to be another battle on top of the championship battle that is going to be very good to watch tonight, Vince.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Regan, and we mentioned it earlier. There's 36 starters. 4 have the goal of the championship, but the other 32 have something to accomplish here tonight as well. And throughout the field, those goals fluctuate. But the Rookie of the Year certainly one for the 18 of Chandler Smith and the 42 of Carson Hocevar. Now remember, the championship 4, they don't have to win the race. It's just the best finisher among the championship 4 that gets the title. And when you look at the 22 races or the 21 races that we've had so far this season, John Hunter Nemechek has finished the best among those 4 11 times.
Yeah, including in those 11 times, it was the 5 wins John Hunter has this year.
Wow, the sun's setting, Vince. The track's cooling off. That means a lot of grip, and that's also going to mean a lot of aggression. We saw it at Martinsville. These guys aren't afraid to use their bumpers, and they're going to be in a position to do just that here at Phoenix.
It's one of the great racetracks in the country. Built back in 1964. So much wonderful racing has taken place here through the years. And tonight, it's the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race, and it is green.
Look at them fan out every truck underneath the yellow line.
And you can see they don't get right up on the track either when they get to the turn. They'll still use the apron as Austin Hill's trying to get around Christian Eckes off turn 2.
Sheldon Creed. Oh, look at John Hunter way up high, losing a bunch of positions. Look at the damage on the left side.
John Hunter Nemechek started deepest in the field of our championship 4, and it's already been a problem.
Well, at least there's no smoke. There was a lot of damage to that left front corner. That tire gets to rubbing. He'd have to pit, but I don't see any smoke, so he might have dodged a bullet there.
On the front side of that tire is fiberglass from the nose, but it's metal over the top of the tire and behind the tire.
He'll rebound from this. It's just a little, as you see, off the racetrack, like I talked about, making the move down on the bottom.
That's Will Rogers on his outside in the 34.
All the way back to the 26th position right now.
Wow, he just got up in the traction compound, a little bit of contact in the wall, just wide on the entry, and that got him in trouble. See if we can listen to the contact on the outside wall. You know, early in the race at Martinsville, he made a couple of questionable moves, a little aggressive that got him in some trouble. That was just a wide entry into one. Whether it was too much too soon, I don't know.
But he's got damage on the left side as well, Michael, so he's obviously made contact with another truck.
He started 16th, fell back to about 30th on that start. Here's some radio from the Nemechek camp.
And it's got up at the Jones. Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, deep breath. Go back to work here.
That's great advice, because that didn't end his night. He certainly was a close call, and maybe it'll make him smarter. Maybe it'll take a deep breath and say, all right, I got to be a little more conservative at times. That's what we didn't see at Martinsville. A lot of aggression, and it bit him.
Eric Phillips, the crew chief, and also John Hunter's uncle, extremely close on a personal level as well as the professional level, as you see Sheldon Creed out front leading the race. He won this race a year ago, and with it he won the championship, but he was knocked out of the championship contention last week at Martinsville.
He comes in here as the leading lap leader for the year, and there's a $50,000 bonus to the driver that leads the most laps this year, as well as a $25,000 bonus for the road crew. So he has a 30-lap advantage over John Hunter coming in here. Oh, look at left side tires flat.
Nemechek, significant issues already. It has gone from bad to worse for one of our championship contenders.
And that's off turn 4, Vince. That's a long way to go to get back to pit road. That mistake did bite him. I didn't see any smoke, Phil. I don't know how, I didn't think the tire would go down, but certainly there was damage we didn't see.
And the caution's not coming out either. He's going to lose at least 2 laps here.
Worst case scenario for John Hunter Nemechek and his Kyle Busch Motorsports group. Nemechek came to this season and said, I came here to win a championship. I don't want to say that it would be deemed a failure if we didn't, but we came here with a goal, and that goal is to win the title. It's hard to say that it would be a failure after 5 wins and all the laps led that they have, but there's no question this would be a heartbreaker for the 4 camp.
Now just make sure you don't make a mistake, Regan, and speed on pit road.
Well, Michael,
Michael, that's exactly what they reminded him, was to be smart as he came down pit road. The team had been perfectly calm, even with everything happening at the start of this race. Unfortunately, that tire blew right in front of the team here coming off of turn 4. They threw their hands up out of frustration. As we see, they got the left sides fixed on it, pulled the fenders away, and tough start for John Hunter.
You know, that's interesting, Phil. They pulled on the fender, but we didn't see any smoke from the outside. You just wonder how that tire cut, and did they indeed pull it enough to make sure it doesn't happen again?
He was making some good time here. That tire just went down right there. Maybe there's something inside.
That's what I'm worried about.
That might have been rubbing, yeah, and they didn't fix that.
They didn't address that issue. He picked up about 9 spots since falling back at the initial start of the race.
And there's no way to get on pit road once you leave turn 2, so that's why he had to agonizingly ride around with that flat tire. Luckily, it didn't do any more damage to the truck that we see.
Talking about the agony, Eric Phillips, you got to believe his stomach was churning. Of course, they had that horrible end to the race last week in Martinsville and finished 39th. Problems already for Nemechek. Welcome back, Phoenix Raceway, the Lucas Oil 150. Under caution because of an incident involving Lawless Alan. The big story here early on in the first 14 laps, the problems for John Hunter Nemechek. Now watch Nemechek, the 0-2 comes across and makes contact with Nemechek's left front, and that eventually created a cut tire for Nemechek.
Yeah, I think Nemechek was just trying to gather his truck up after getting up next to the outside wall. Very little damage. Let's walk right along with him. There's a little bit of slight contact with the outside wall. Now watch. There's a contact right there. He was just trying to get back down into the racing groove and crowded the 0-2 a little bit.
Yeah, he crowded him a little bit and also put the 0-2 into the outside wall. So a lot going on the first lap, I'll tell you.
Radio from the 4.
So just give them an update on, you know, obviously this is 1 lap back right now, and then the stage will end. We'll get our 2nd lap back. The race will start for us at the start of the 2nd stage. Yep, I'm with you.
So the team, because of Lawless Alan's accident, John Hunter Nemechek gets 1 of his 2 laps back.
I'm not sure I totally agree, because there may be an opportunity for somebody else to get lapped before the end of that first stage. So I don't think they can count on that, getting that 2nd lap back at the end of the first stage.
But I appreciate the optimism from the team. You know, you got to build your driver up and make sure that he knows what he's faced with.
Nemechek back to pit road for some further repairs, and here's why we are under caution. That's Lawless Alan. He's gone around in heavy contact to the rear end of that 45 truck from Nice Motorsports. Back to Regan in the 4.
Well, you guys highlighted how it's been such a tough start to the race. This is a bit of a good break, though. Now the opportunity to come down and put the right side tires on this truck, work on the left side just a little bit more, make it exactly how they want it for the remainder of the race. You see Kyle Busch on the right side of the screen. He's down here helping direct things just a little bit as to what's going on with the truck and what they really need to be looking at. So all hands on deck right now in the Ford camp to try and get this thing repaired and find a way to get the Ford truck back on the lead lap.
Well,
the 12 o'clock down to the 9 o'clock. Use the baseball bat, get that left front out.
I agree. Use a baseball bat. You need to use all the tools you got to get that fender clearance, because we saw when they pitted to fix the flat, just very little effort to fix. You don't have much time. They were pulling on the fender, but that doesn't really do much. Getting in there with a baseball bat, a hammer, that's a good call.
And he's in a great position right now, because right now he is the only truck 1 lap down. If you catch another quick caution, he'd get that lap back right away.
Well, it could have been disastrous for the 4. I mean, the fact that they're still rolling with as little damage as they have avoided disaster so far for one of our championship contenders. Let's go back downstairs. Josh Sims.
Yeah, the 99 right now running the highest of any of the playoff drivers. And right now, Ben Rhodes is happy with the way his truck is running. He says he does feel a little bit of issue with the rear of his truck when it comes to coming in and out of those turns, that is. But he's pretty happy with where they are. They have the speed. We saw that in practice and qualifying. And they're looking to keep this up the rest of the way. Jamie?
Zane Smith back there in 11, saying he has some bad brake shake, a little bit tight. That's the exact same problem he had at 8 o'clock this morning in practice. Gentlemen in the booth, what can he do to help that brake shake issue?
You know, it's either too cold or too hot. You know, it's a delicate balance on the brake temperature. You can pull tape or add tape. You just have to figure out where your truck is when this brake shake is happening, but it's all about temperature.
Hey, coming up later this weekend, catch a special Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. It's live from the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, 11 o'clock Eastern. Then at 4, one of the big games of the year, Packers and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and company. All kicks off Sunday on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
That's a beautiful sight, isn't it? The Camping World Truck Series. Look at all those campers. I think Camping World might have hit their sweet spot there.
Right in their wheelhouse.
Their target demographic. That is beautiful as the sun sets.
And the home of the Arizona Cardinals. Off to a pretty good start this season as well in the NFL. And just down the road, find us here at Phoenix Raceway. Getting ready to come back green. You see on the left-hand side of the screen our Championship 4 contenders highlighted in a shade of blue. You don't see John Hunter Nemechek on there because he currently is a lap down in 34th.
What he would love to see right now is a quick caution. Put him right back on the lead lap, right back in contention here.
Hailie Deegan with that bumper cam coming to the green. She's in the 12th position. Good start for her. Here they all come.
Creed running the top. Chandler Smith cut off the leg and is trying to get that second spot from the inside.
Looked like Ben Rhodes took a look at underneath Chandler Smith. Didn't quite make the move that time. Ran out of room.
Oh, they're getting together. 3 wide off turn 4.
Todd Gilliland has moved into that second spot. So many opportunities to grab a position here, but you got to be so careful. There's the 9 of Brandon Finger.
The 17 plump off the racetrack. That's what I love about this place. And look at the block there. That's Brother Taylor putting the block on him.
You mentioned the 17, Taylor Gray, 16 years old out here racing against these guys here tonight. He's the youngest driver in the field.
I tell you, John Hunter's truck looks pretty good. He's been able to pass a lot of trucks here. See him chasing down right now the 44 of Dean Thompson. Dean announced that he's going to be full-time for Nice Motorsports next year. There's one of the teammates, Drew Dollar, at KBM.
Look at that. It just cuts to the bottom of the racetrack, makes easy work of his teammate. Now he's going to put his sights on Tyler Ankrum up ahead in that orange truck.
Sheldon Creed leading in that purple number 2, and Chandler Smith taking a look on the inside.
What a great early start by Chandler Smith. Put that truck on the pole by nearly a quarter of a second. And now he's showing that not only is it fast for a lap, really good in the longer run too.
A couple great finishes out here for Chandler Smith. I think he's been here twice and finished 3rd both times.
Got his first career win at Bristol a few weeks back.
He had to win, Vince, and he did just that.
Right now trying to get that spot from Sheldon Creed. Creed in his final Truck Series race, or at least his final Truck Series race as a truck veteran, truck regular, I should say, going to the Xfinity Series next year, where he'll run full-time for Richard Childress Racing. Chandler Smith expected to be back in the 18 next year. He's on the hunt.
They just painted that yellow line there arbitrarily, right?
Look at this move to the inside. Really hard to hang on to your truck on the inside of another vehicle as you race down into turn 3. Plenty of space there between the two. That'll help.
Just past the halfway point here in stage 1 as Matt Crafton and then Neon Yellow trying to work his way up in the 8th position. On the inside of him is his teammate Christian Eckes at ThorSport.
His most important teammate is up in the 5th position, though, Vince. That's where Ben Rhodes rides, and it looks like Crafton's got a really fast truck. Makes a nice move around the outside. That's hard to do here at Phoenix.
Crafton from California, and his crew chief, Junior Joyner from Oregon, so both West Coast guys, and They believe this is kind of their home track. It has a home track feel to them, so it would certainly be all the more gratifying to get a win here tonight.
So much experience. 20 times Matt Crafton has been here to race in the Truck Series, as well as back in the old Southwest Tour days.
Never won in the truck here, though. So
never has.
Would be a great time to win his first, wouldn't it?
Sheldon is committed to the traction compound. That's resin they use this time. He's committed to it.
Well, you evaluate your truck, and it wasn't working well enough on the bottom to stay ahead of Chandler, so he decided he'd move up and give that a whirl. That's what racers have to do. You got to constantly be moving around, trying to figure out where your truck will stick the best.
How about that 2 truck, Jamie?
Well, Phil mentioned that bonus that Camping World's putting up for leading the most laps on this season. Sheldon told me today he knows he can't win the championship, so his focus was on winning that. He said that $25,000 would be a thank you to my team. I want them to be able to take their families on a vacation and thank them for everything they've given me as he moves up to the Xfinity Series. Meanwhile, while he's trying to hold off the 18, said the balance is the same as practice, just a little bit tight in the center, but he's fast.
Ooh, I like that move. He crept up into the traction compound and trying to make a move, make good ground off turn 4.
17 left here in stage 1. We're going to take a break, but we'll keep it right here for you. Going to be side by side. You won't miss a lap.
Toyota, let's go places.
Blue Emu Super Strength Original Formula is now available in 3 convenient sizes. Whether you need relief at home, in your gym bag, or on the go. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink. An official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
All it takes for the McRib, with its tangy and juicy flavor, to be crowned the most important sandwich of the year is to simply return. The most important sandwich of the year is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I am tradition, passed down from the families that race to the ones that watch us every weekend.
You know, it's all I've ever known, racing.
I was fortunate to be in victory lane 20 years ago, and I'm here again.
I am meant to be passed down from one generation to the next. Because the only thing better than seeing a race is sharing it with someone. I am NASCAR.
What a goal! What a tremendous strike! Chicharito! He is on fire!
I am a fan start your season weekend that never ends. I am the Daytona 500. I am NASCAR.
Phoenix Raceway, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series battle for the lead. Sheldon Creed trying to hold off Chandler Smith. Creed has led them all so far except for one lap where Smith was able to pull alongside Creed and had the advantage at the start-finish line, but it has been very tight as they've raced side by side.
Phil, you think Chandler's making his tires mad? He's driving the crap out of his truck and sideways and back and forth while Sheldon's just sort of riding around the top. But he gets it done.
He's got it. His truck has been so good on the bottom.
So finally, Chandler Smith is able to wrestle the lead away from Sheldon Creed. You know, I was going to say, if you're just joining us, John Hunter Nemechek, one of our Championship 4, had a problem early. Contact with the wall on the right side, and then another truck on the left side cut a tire and had to go to pit road, fell a couple of laps down, got one of those laps back, but still resides one lap down.
All you want to do right here is feel your truck out and figure out what we can do to make it better. Just feel all 4 tires and what we got to do to go better.
And what just happened, Spencer Boyd went a lap down. So you heard the team saying we'll get the free pass. You see the 20 truck? He's now the first truck a lap down. So if John Hunter can't catch him, or if the leader Smith catches another lap truck, which he's getting ready to, Roper just ahead, John Hunter will not get the free pass at the end of this stage.
Bad news for John Hunter Nemechek. Chandler Smith on the march now. He has opened his advantage after battling Sheldon Creed for so long, and we could see that Smith had the better truck but just was unable to get around Creed. But now that he has set sail. Over a half-second advantage.
Phil, does the 4 truck need to stay out at the end of the stage and wave around if everybody pits and forego tires? He's got enough gas to get to the end of stage 2. We'll watch that, but that could be a play for that team.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because he'll have enough speed, I think, even though those guys put fresh tires on, to not get lapped. And that's the key. If he can just maintain that lap till they get to the end of the second stage, then he's going to be on equal footing with everybody.
As far as the championship was concerned, you were riding there with Ben Rhodes. He's the best of the championship 4 in 5th. You see Todd Gilliland in the 38, Stuart Friesen in the 52. They are running 3rd and 4th, back on board with Rhodes in 5th.
You know, as hard as Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed were racing each other, they were driving away from the 3rd place truck, running side by side every inch around the racetrack.
A couple of different races going on as you have that race for the win. And of course, we're early on here, still in stage 1, but Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed worried about that right now. But then you've got the race for the championship, and that's where Ben Rhodes and Matt Craft and Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek are all competing. The best finisher amongst those 4 wins the championship, and Rhodes right now is that person. But we've got a long way to go. This is a 150 lapper, and we're still in stage 1.
This is great racing too, and such drama on the first lap. Probably the championship favorite. Into the wall, flat tire.
There's Crafton grabbing a spot from his teammate Christian Eckes. Crafton in the 88, Christian in the 98 curb truck.
Eckes in his first race since winning at Las Vegas, splitting that 98 ride with Grant Enfinger, and Eckes getting the opportunity to run it tonight here in the finale while Enfinger drives the 9 truck. Back to Gilliland and Friesen in their battle for 3rd, and with the view of that battle is Ben Rhodes, who you ride with here in 5th.
Yeah, the last 2 laps, Ben Rhodes has been the fastest truck on the track, even though we saw Smith and Creed drive away. I think the more the tires wear, the better Ben Rhodes likes his truck.
The sun is setting, and how does that change maybe the conditions of the track and the effect that it has on the trucks?
It just makes me smile. That means more grip. You know, you can drive your truck harder. And we talk all the time about how aggressive these truckers are. You give them a little bit extra grip, they're just going to push and shove that much more.
Yeah, that track temperature is going to come down. Ambient temperature won't come down a lot, but the track temperature sure will without the sun beating on it.
Did you hear that? Into 3rd gear went Ben Rhodes off turn 4, shifting, and you saw the ground he made. The spotters will all report that to the other drivers, but he was shifting. That's interesting. I didn't know if they'd do that or not with this engine, but it sounds like Ben's found some speed with it. I talked about he's been the fastest truck. Listen to him down in turns 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, excuse me, see if he does it again. There he goes.
Absolutely. I know his teammate Matt Crafton has done that here in the past.
Final lap in stage 1. Chandler Smith continues to lead while Ben Rhodes jockeys for 5th. 3rd and 4th battling right in front of him. Chandler Smith, his 2nd career stage win. Rhodes, the highest finisher of the championship 4 in stage 1. And there's Taylor Gray, who has gone around.
See, the right rear is obviously flat on the wheel.
Wow, what an eventful night already, especially for one of our championship contenders, John Hunter Nemechek. Problems for Nemechek in his pursuit of that championship trophy. NASCAR Truck Series racing on FS1, presented by Blue Emu. Our championship 4 in stage 1, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 31st. That's right, John Hunter Nemechek, if you're just joining us, with a cut tire early, fell a couple of laps down. Now he is 1 lap down. And what are the strategy plays we expect from Nemechek here?
Well, what's going to happen is if John Hunter Nemechek has his way, everyone on the lead lap pits. And that'll put him in a position to wave around. He will not pit. He'll wave around. He's got enough gas to get to the end of the stage. What will disrupt that plan is if anyone on the lead lap stays out. Now, why would they? That's a great question. Normally they wouldn't, right? But if someone decides to stay out, it'll really mess up John Hunter's plan.
We're about to find out. Let's go down to pit road. Josh Sims.
And Ben Rhodes, as he comes into pit, currently the best of the playoff drivers, running 5th right now. He said his truck is tight in the center, loose on the exit, mainly on turn 2, and he has concerns on the restart. He says he wants more takeoff speed as he comes in and gets fuel 4 times.
Matt Crafton, a lengthy discussion with crew chief Junior Joyner as to what they wanted to fix most. Right now, the exit of the corner, his largest problem with that truck, too loose, speed in the back, wants to slide out. They're going to make a significant adjustment to try and get ahead or wherever this track may go to later. Jamie?
Zane Smith has a mix. The Roush Fenway guys going over the wall for him. A wedge adjustment, air pressure adjustment. He's a little bit tight, but he still has that brake shake. He's fighting. He's in the number 1 pit box. They're watching the rest of the field go by. Trouble on the left front. It was a slow stop for the 21, Vince.
Well, Sheldon Creed, the first one off pit road. Stage 1 pit stops.
There's the Ford truck. Michael, he's coming to pit road. Wow. I would have never thought that. I would have thought he would have waved around. He's got enough gas. He's got enough tires. Maybe that damage on the left front is still a concern, but man.
And if there is any concern about the truck, I mean, you've got to pit. I mean, you got to get it taken care of as soon as possible.
But it ran all the way from the pit stop and didn't have any issues. And he was, like Phil said, he was making good time. Yeah. I'm confused, Regan, about this team pitting, but they obviously know more about what they're doing than I do.
Oh, Michael, I'm equally as confused down here on pit road, so we'll find out the exact reason why they're pitting. Right now, that race truck, though, struggling with the right rear, trying to get through the corner. He's too loose, can't lean on the right rear like he wants to be able to, so an adjustment for that, and we'll find out why exactly now was the time to pit here.
Well, we saw that chassis wrench, and maybe if the handling wasn't good enough, you got to get it adjusted as soon as you can. She's changed her look over the years, but she's still a beauty. Not many have meant more than it does this evening. Start your engine! Time to settle it, and here we go. The season has come down to this night. Getting ready for stage 2 here at Phoenix Raceway, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race. And it's been an eventful one for John Hunter Nemechek, one of our championship contenders. Still a lap down. Ben Rhodes, another championship 4 member, is going to restart on the inside with Sheldon Creed on the outside. Stage 2 underway. Chandler Smith, stage 1 winner, second truck on the inside.
We saw how fast Ben Rhodes was at the end of that first stage, especially when he started shifting. Let's see what he can do with Sheldon Creed here.
Rhodes has never won the championship before. This is his first appearance in the championship 4, in fact, and he won the first 2 races this season. Knew he was going to be in the playoffs, but he's done what he's needed to do to reach this point and have a shot at his first championship.
And let's be clear, he doesn't have a special transmission that allows him to shift, because everybody has basically the same third gear ratio. They used to have, used to be able to run anything they want. Now they have to run at least a 1.28 third gear, so he doesn't have anything special. He's just making it work.
What about Ty Dillon in that 32 truck racing up inside the top 10? Nice run early for him. Started outside the top 10 and raced forward.
That's Dillon just to the right of Zane Smith. Right on board with Smith.
That's Brett Holmes' team. Brett usually drives that truck, as well as Sam Mayer has also run that truck some this year. They've had some good finishes, some top 10 finishes in that truck.
Yeah, first start for Ty Dillon in the Truck Series since 2018. He's a 3-time winner in the Truck Series. Up ahead, Matt Crafton in that neon yellow 88. Crafton running 6th. Would that make you dizzy bouncing off the track that much, Phil?
But Todd Gillen told us during qualifying that it was going to hurt his head. I believe it. He'll have a headache.
Two of our championship contenders there in the picture, the yellow 88 of Crafton and the red 21 of Zane Smith. They are running 5th and 8th, and one is into the wall, and that's Ty Dillon. Able to gather it up, but definitely some wall contact.
Well, that thing took off on him, didn't it, Michael?
Yeah, you wonder if he had a little contact from another competitor or he just got loose down into turn 3. One of the more difficult parts of this racetrack was an abrupt turn at the end of the back straightaway, and certainly got away from him for some reason. The pylon on the left-hand side, our championship contenders with the blue background. As you see Ty Dillon in that 32. Gathered it back up, seems no worse for the wear at this point. Steady hand there off turn 4 on the wheel of that 32 truck. That was a spotter talking to the crew chief. He wouldn't say that where the driver could hear it.
Right along on the Ford onboard with Haley Deegan, getting around the outside of Drew Dollar. Going to grab a spot there. Move Haley up to the 20th spot.
Started 10th. Austin Hill just ahead there in the 16.
Really solid season, I think, this year for Haley. Had a great, 7th place finish at Gateway, which was the best finish by a female with the exception of Daytona. And it really ran the laps. That's what's key for rookie drivers. Get out there, run the laps, and she's in the top 5 on laps completed in the series.
You know, Vince, I want to be clear on something else, too. Ben Rhodes just needs to be smart and say, I don't really care about Sheldon Creed leading this race. I'm leading the championship 4. I got to be patient. I got to understand where I'm at, which is in control of the championship right now. I don't need to push any issues with Chandler Smith, nor with the leader Creed. I just need to bide my own time and keep my gap between those other competitors. And right now that gap is 3 other trucks driven by Chandler Smith, Todd Gilliland, and Stuart Friesen.
And I think we've seen a smarter Ben Rhodes this year. Remember, he had some issues last year. Had some issues with his now teammate Christian Eckes, where they battled a little bit and traded some paint. But I've seen a smarter Ben Rhodes this year.
Well, Rich Lucius, the crew chief for Rhodes, says that's been the biggest change in him. No longer the bull in the china shop. He's come to understand you got to slow down to go faster sometimes. Go into break, but you won't miss a thing.
Well, that's the thing about claims, you see. They don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. It doesn't just say, oh, beg pardon, sir, but it's now a good time for a jolly bit of window cracking. Oh, I mean, if they did, you wouldn't need a Geico claims team that's available 24/7. Well, near as I can tell, chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, got things to do, Mr. Chestnut, so...
Tender pork, tangy pickles, delicious sauce. Any one of these alone would make a good sandwich. But to be the most important sandwich of the year, I'd humbly suggest having all 3. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You don't become the official partner of MLB and NASCAR if you aren't the strongest and the fastest. Blue Emu's unique formula with Emu Oil offers relief when you're training to win. Blue Emu Super Strength. It works fast and you won't stink. Official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
For those that were born to race, we've got you. To those that toast friendships and rivalries, or crave that sweet taste of victory, we've got you too. For those that play hard, lead the pack, and set a new pace, or tip their hat to tradition, we've got you. Find all the gear you need all season long at NASCAR.com/shop.
Brace for impact. This is awesome. It's Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. The start of a new era of Friday Night SmackDown. Tap into network television's greatest spectacle. Hell King Woods. As the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. Right to the chin. All new Friday Night SmackDown, sponsored by Progressive at 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
I am tradition, passed down from the families that race to the ones that watch us every weekend. I am NASCAR.
Sheldon Creed leads in that Lavender 2 truck. Ben Rhodes, one of our Championship 4, runs second, and Chandler Smith, the Stage 1 winner, runs third.
And Chandler Smith has the fastest truck on the track, I believe. They had a little bit of trouble in their pit stop, lost back to the 4th position, but he's absolutely heating up Rhodes. Here he is to the inside.
And you're Ben Rhodes, that's okay, right? I mean, you're not going to put up too big of a fight for Chandler Smith, are you?
He has been.
Surprisingly so?
Yeah. For me, a bit. You know, you want to minimize your risks, and racing on the outside of a guy that's dive bombing you every turn, that's a bit of a risk.
Remember, Rhodes just needs to finish ahead of the other Championship 4 contenders. It doesn't matter what position he finishes in the race, as long as he finishes ahead of Zane Smith, Matt Crafton, and John Hunter Nemechek. Right now, Nemechek not in play because he's a lap down. And he's in the free pass position. But there's a look at Spencer Boyd in that 20, and he just went a lap down, so now that bumps John Hunter out of the free pass position. And, boy, John Hunter Nemechek just hasn't been able to catch a break so far.
And it's going to be harder now because he'll have to pit at the end of the stage, more than likely, unless he really wants to gamble on a quick caution. We know they can go around 80 laps. They pitted on lap 49, and the stage will end on lap 50, so he could stay out and run another 40 laps, but I think the time to have stayed out was at the end of the first stage, no doubt.
Let's catch up with our championship contenders. We'll begin with Josh in the 99 of Rhodes.
Yeah, guys, and currently Ben Rhodes, the best of the championship drivers, running second right now, battling with Chandler Smith for second. But you know what? It doesn't matter with Chandler Smith, the closest championship driver to him, Zane Smith. That's all that matters for Ben Rhodes. Stay in front of him. Now, he has a couple concerns. He's been tight through the center, and he says he's bad on the restarts, but as long as they keep running green, Ben Rhodes is the fastest of the championship drivers. Jamie?
Zane Smith in the 21 truck, the 22-year-old from California, Huntington Beach, looking for his first championship title. Been a little bit tight tonight on that first pit stop of the night, though. They freed him up with a wedge adjustment and some air pressure, and he says that did the job. It helped him out. He's going forward, gained 1 spot since the stop, Regan.
Well, Jamie, Matt Crafton continues to struggle with the handling of this race truck. Corner exit, the problem that they continue to try to fix. He's been very calm on the radio, much like the three-time champion we would expect to be calm in this situation. Right now, the word from crew chief Junior Joyner is protect. Protect positions is what he's trying to do to keep himself further to the front when they make whatever is the next pit stop. And then the Ford truck of John Hunter Nemechek still very calm on the radio for this team with all the issues that they had. Crew chief Eric Phelps has been coaching up his driver, telling him your lap times are very good. Once we get this lap back, we feel like we can still contend with the guys up front to try and win this championship.
Yeah, but it's getting that lap back that's going to be an issue because right now John Hunter isn't even in the free pass position.
But he has speed. We just saw him pass Johnny Sauter. Johnny is the 11th place truck, and he had to start behind them. So he has the speed right now, Vince. But as you mentioned, if he doesn't get the lap back, it's not going to matter.
Race positions on the left-hand side of your screen. Championship 4 up top. 16 to go at stage 2. Sheldon Creed out front. 10 laps to go here in stage 2. By the way, Creed has, with his 65 laps led, clinched the bonus, $50,000 for him and $25,000 for the team, courtesy of Camping World for leading the most laps this season. So congratulations to Sheldon. Nice little consolation prize for not being able to win the championship. But he is out front and taking care of business in the race. Close call.
Look at there. He's giving him a hello.
Spencer Boyd.
Off turn 4. John Hunter Nemechek, an update on one of our championship 4. He's back in the free pass position, but it's going to be short-lived because just ahead of our leaders is Will Rogers and Austin Wayne Self. Self's actually the last truck on the lead lap, a few truck lengths behind. There he is in the 22, and there's comes Creed. So that's the difference between John Hunter Nemechek getting in the free pass, staying in the free pass position, or passing Austin Wayne Self and putting Nemechek another position back. This is going to be close. I think Creed has enough speed to get there, and if the caution doesn't come out, he will get there.
I think Sheldon might lose the lead because the 18 of Chandler Smith really chased down the 2 of Sheldon Creed, but Sheldon lost a full second when he got hung behind Spencer Boyd off the corner. His lap time was a full second slower than it was the previous lap.
And watch Chandler Smith. He went to work on Creed earlier, couldn't find a way around, but then he moved up into the traction compound, used that higher lane to diamond the corner off and take advantage of some more grip that he found there and get him the lead away from Creed. Be interesting to see what he pulls here.
Well, John Hunter Nemechek is just hoping they don't pass Austin Wayne Self in that white and red 22, because if they do, then Nemechek will not be the free pass, and the 22 about to fall into the clutches of either the 18 or the 2 or both, and that's going to put it into John Hunter Nemechek's free pass chances, and that does just that. So now Nemechek not in the free pass position. Another bad break for Nemechek.
And that was a line that Sheldon Creed had not run tonight. Down below the yellow line there, as Chandler tries to get inside him once again.
Now John Hunter's going to be pulling for Will Rogers to stay ahead of this duo, because I think he can catch Austin Wayne Self. He has a shot at catching him at least. We'll see how it develops, but you got to always know that when plan A goes away, you got to think about plan B, and that's catching Austin Wayne Self himself.
That's a lot of self.
Yeah, and these drivers are all about themselves too, by the way.
He's almost
spoken as a former driver.
Yeah, John Hunter's almost the full length of the backstretch behind the 22 of Austin Wayne Self.
Regan on Matt Crafton.
Well, Vince, Matt Crafton still continuing to struggle with that race truck. Listen to this. Phil, you know as well as I do as a race car driver, if you can't stay in the throttle, you're in trouble on corner exit. That is what they've got to find a way to fix. Junior Joyner followed it up with saying, I will get this fixed. Just stay with me here.
Well, he's still in a great spot, Regan. He's up in the top 10. You see John Hunter going around there. That doesn't bother Crafton much, or trying to go around. Crafton gets that adjustment. We've seen this before, Phil. We talked about it in the opening. The guy that won the race last year restarted 9th with 2 to go. So you can make some bold moves at this racetrack. It'll be interesting to see the mindset of Junior Joyner, how he goes about adjusting that truck.
Back in traffic as Creed and Chandler Smith trying to sort out the lead at the front.
This is a great battle.
Final 2 laps here in stage 2. Smith and Creed have been battling throughout the course of the night for that top spot. That's Will Rogers in front of him in the 34. Jordan Anderson beside Creed in the 3 truck.
All these trucks trying to stay on the lead lap. That's why they're fighting so hard.
Final lap in stage 2, and Chandler Smith, who won stage 1, is out front.
That's an impressive run by that young man.
Danny Stockman, the crew chief on that 18. They got their first win together earlier at Bristol here in the playoffs, and now stage 2 to the 18 as well.
I bet you Chase Elliott's liking all the success of these Georgia sport organization. The young man Chandler Smith from Georgia. Of course, the Bulldogs #1 in the country. The Braves win the World Series. Chase is like, this is lined up nicely for me.
First time in his young career that he's swept both stages. Can he get the race too? Two stages in the books. We're getting close to crowning a champion here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. You see Ben Rhodes finished 3rd, Zane Smith 6th, Crafton 8th, Nemechek 27th, and Nemechek still a lap down.
Well, Phil, we talked about it at the stage break, staying out, waving around. They didn't do that. Here, I think you got to pit. They ran a whole stage on their tires, has Nemechek. He gets in he's the fastest truck by far, a lap down. You know, if a caution comes out just on the restart, that puts them back. That gets a free pass and gets them back in the game.
Yeah. Josh Sims, the first on pit road as they hit.
And Ben Rhodes comes in as he is the highest running of the championship drivers right now. He was saying they were ridiculously tight in stage 2, so they're going to make an adjustment over the radio. They were just giving him confidence, saying you're all good, you're running well, continue to do what you've been doing, and they have a shot at taking home a championship here tonight. Regan?
Well, the always animated crew chief Junior Joyner told his team, I need a great pit stop right here. We heard him talking about how loose this race truck is on corner exit. Another significant adjustment to fix that. Jamie?
Zane Smith comes in 6th. Whole front end was chattering that run really tight. They're going up a round and a half on the track bar. Air pressure adjustment. They'll put some sticker tires on. That'll leave 1 set of sticker tires to go. Good stop for the 21.
Can't afford any mistakes during this pit stop round, Phil. It's too late in the game to go to the rear if you're a championship contender. Plan on winning this race. Hopefully everybody was clean.
How about Stuart Fries's guys getting him out first, gaining 3 spots?
Can Nemechek make the great comeback? Can Crafton win his 4th? Rhodes or Zane Smith their first? Who's going to get this trophy tonight? The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Phoenix. What a great racetrack this is.
Caution flag already.
They're going to make contact.
They do.
Some hard racing right here.
Oh, trouble again. Big problem. 3 trucks up against the wall. Oh, trouble.
Heavy contact.
Getting desperate, making desperate moves.
They're together. Oh, man. Oh, big problems here. There it goes. Both of them into the wall.
Getting set for stage 3 in the championship race here in Phoenix. Ben Rhodes right now, the best of the championship drivers. He had the fastest car during practice, the fastest car during qualifying of those playoff drivers, and right now he is in front of the other playoff drivers. Coming into this race, he said he was the most calm he has been in a very long time, setting himself up for what he called would be a dream come true to get a victory. They are all calm in the pit box. He is all calm behind the wheel. It is the calm before the storm of the final stage. Jamie?
And just behind the 99 is the 21 of Zane Smith. And for the first time, they just gave him an update. The big picture. Kevin Bono Mannion, his crew chief, said, right now, all you have to worry about is the 99. Do whatever you can here for this final stage to get around him, and we'll take it home. Regan?
Matt Crafton's crew chief, Junior Joyner, hopped off the pit box immediately following their pit stop. Frustrated, not as good of a stop as what they would have liked to have had. Told his driver, Matt Crafton, I planned for every scenario tonight except for the truck being loose off the corner. They are scrambling down here to get the speed in this truck and get it back where it needs to be. In the Ford truck of John Hunter Nemechek, the guy who dominated the entire season this year, still trying to get that lap back and starting to get a little bit frustrated on the radio. Said, I'm trying so hard in here. I don't know what else to do. That truck right now loses grip too much as the runs go on.
And Regan mentioned Junior Joyner, of course, the longtime crew chief for Matt Crafton. And Junior, this is his last race as crew chief for Matt Crafton. He's going to go home and run his business in California. He's been with Crafton for all 3 of his championships. Would like nothing better than to end with a 4th title tonight.
What a great personality he is, too. He's going to be dearly missed down there on that pit box.
Might be one of the last restarts, so start picking your plan here. I'm going where they're not and see if it works. That's all I can do. Split their hair. Who's going to beat the 2 right there? You can see them.
Wow, this is picking up. The intensity is really starting to ratchet. You know these guys are going to say, well, I got to go. I got to push. I got to shove. What's going to happen on this restart?
Chandler Smith on the inside, Stuart Friesen, a former Phoenix winner, on the outside of that 52. They fan out through 1.
This is where sometimes it looks like our brains go into neutral.
We just Sheldon jump on the outside around Stewart.
Sheldon Creed back to the lead. He's led 73 laps tonight, by far the most.
Big push down the back from Todd Gillen for Chandler Smith.
Ben Rhodes, the championship leader, and then Zane Smith right behind him in that red 21, and Zane now going to the bottom, and the caution is out.
And John Hunter Nemechek will receive the free pass.
With 50 to go, Tate Fogelman comes to a stop, and as you said, Mike, John Hunter Nemechek,
Give us a dog.
the free pass, that's the break he needed.
New ball game now for John Hunter.
There's now 4 players in the championship battle. John Hunter finally back on the lead lap, and he was fast, Phil. He drove all the way up and past Matt Crafton during that second stage, so don't count out the Ford truck.
Now what he needs is another quick caution.
All right, man. Time to go to work now. Yes, sir.
Odd, something has gone
some issue there
mechanically wrong with the 12 of Fogelman. And of course, Tate got his first career win a few weeks back at Talladega. 21-year-old from Durham, North Carolina.
Looks like they're getting ready to change the battery. That battery's right in front of that left rear tire.
Just under 50 to go. John Hunter Nemechek back on the lead lap.
You think he's going to push some issues from here on out?
100%.
When you make a mistake early like he did, and you've had the season he's had, you don't want to let your team down. You want to be the guy that drives that truck through the field and back into contention to win this race.
Watch Nemechek on this restart navigate the traffic.
Excuse me. Coming through. So important for him to maintain that first truck 1 lap down, which he did, which is going to give him the free pass.
He spent 89 laps off the lead lap so far tonight.
We've only run 102, Vince.
Here's how it happened. Start of the race, Nemechek got up out of the groove, got into the wall on the right side, and then watch the 0-2 right there. Chris Wright.
Wright didn't do anything wrong.
Nope, just got into John Hunter's left front, and it ended up cutting the tire of Nemechek. He had to come to pit road, and at that point fell a couple of laps down.
Then they had a truck stall on the racetrack right away, got him one of those laps back, and he's been fighting ever since to try to get the second one, and that caution right there that did it for him.
Team owner Kyle Busch. KBM has won 5 of the last 10 races here at Phoenix. The most Truck Series wins in series history at 89. There's Eric Phillips, John Hunter's crew chief, and his uncle. Eric's wife, Heather, is sister to John Hunter's mom, Andrea. And John Hunter refers to him as Uncle Eric. Meanwhile, Zane Smith, who is without a ride next year, as is his crew chief, Kevin Bono Mannion, without a job yet. And what's going to happen? Certainly winning a championship would help their position, their bargaining power, I would think, Jamie.
Absolutely. Well, so far he's doing a great job tonight, but some discussion on where he should line up for this restart. This is between Zane and his crew chief, Kevin Bono Mannion.
Zane, we might want to think about trying the top there, but I don't know. It's up to you, but we're just racing at 99.88 here, you know.
Yeah. It's pretty simple what you got to do, but doing it's another story, isn't it?
How about Bono Mannion? He's, of course, spent time at the Cup level as a crew chief, won the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400. He won 2 championships in the Xfinity Series with Martin Truex Jr. He's won 7 races in the Truck Series as crew chief. He has done it all and told me this week he just absolutely loves the Truck Series, some of the freedoms it gives him from a schedule perspective, and just likes the kind of racing and wants to stay in this series.
I just love him being on the box, too. So much experience, so much knowledge.
Regan.
Well, John Hunter Nemechek pitting here under this caution. While the pits are closed right now, they already know that they've got to start at the back of the field. We see him putting a little bit of tape on the nose there, and they wanted to check the left rear lug nuts to make sure they had them on. A little fuel in this truck, that is to help the handling of it. That does adjust the handling of the race truck. Will free it up, make it turn just a little bit better for him.
Got a long way to go, but he sits 20th. We got a lot of racing left at 46 laps remaining as we look at our Blue Emu race summary. Sheldon Creed continues to lead. He's led the most laps, and he's clinched that $50,000 bonus from Camping World for leading the most laps this season, and $25,000 extra to the crew for that as well.
The Marcus Lemonis bonus.
Yes, indeed. And $140,000 cash in bonus from Camping World to the series champion, which will be awarded tonight as well. It has been a fun night, and you can feel the intensity ramping up as we get ready to get the green on this final stage. Sheldon Creed on the inside, Stuart Friesen on the outside.
Great start by Creed.
45 to go at Phoenix.
Look at him fan out. At least four wide. Look at Ben Rhodes all the way down underneath Carson Hocevar. That's Ben way down on the inside, pulling up beside Todd Gilliland.
He didn't even try to get on the road, Phil. He just used that apron.
Actually, that was Eckes. That's already Rhodes in front of the 30. Those trucks look identical. That was Eckes down on the bottom, jumping out in front of Todd Gilliland now.
Yeah, Rhodes was running the high line, and Eckes was on the bottom. And they squeezed for position.
Zane Smith down on the bottom trying to come back. He sees that 99 truck just ahead, knows that's his target.
For the championship, drivers who are contenders, highlighted in blue on the pylon to the left, and you see the championship 4 and where they run up top.
Look at Smith. He's inside of Eckes. Looks like he's made adjustments that made that truck faster, Phil.
It's going to be a big move if he can get by Ben Rhodes' teammate, and he does. He is able to clear Eckes off the corner.
Meanwhile, John Hunter Nemechek on the right side of your screen, trying to navigate through traffic.
How about Ben Rhodes? Ben Rhodes maybe about to lose that spot to Zane Smith.
Been pretty smooth selling all night long for Rhodes, but here comes a very fast 21 truck for Zane Smith.
That would be for the championship. Zane Smith chasing that Bombardier truck just ahead of him, driven by Ben Rhodes. Smith was second in the championship a year ago as a rookie.
Oh, I like this move, Vince.
Rhodes on the inside, Smith on the outside.
Bono said you might want to try the top.
Wow, Smith grabs the position. Power move. Zane Smith into third and the championship lead in the process.
Boy, he's shown some strength after this last restart.
Rhodes trying to come back and take a look on the inside, but Smith holding position.
Man, this is the first stress Ben Rhodes has faced tonight. He's had this race under control, and Zane Smith is just a rocket ship right now.
It's the first time tonight Rhodes has not been the championship leader under green. Meanwhile, Nemechek up to 18th and trying to work his way through the field.
He needs a caution.
Yeah, give him 16th now in front of Drew Dollar. Yeah, he needs a caution to get some of that track position back.
And then Phil, don't forget about a set of tires down on pit road and what these guys will do and how late they'll put them on. Strategy could still play into this equation. It's not crystal clear exactly what the right thing is to do when the caution flag flies. You got to make that decision on the fly.
Zane Smith runs third. Rhodes right behind him in fourth. There are championship contenders. Crafton back in 12th. Nemechek 16th. Sheldon Creed continues to lead the race. Zane Smith, our championship leader. It's heating up in the desert. Hey, Veterans Day is coming up next Thursday, the 11th, and Fox Sports proudly salutes and supports our nation's military heroes and the organizations that serve them. Purple Heart Homes is a nationwide nonprofit providing housing solutions for service-connected, disabled, and aging veterans. For more information on how you can provide much-needed assistance to veterans of all eras, please visit purplehearthomesusa.org. Great one underway here at Phoenix Raceway, the season finale for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Sheldon Creed continues to lead. He's dominated in laps led with 93 laps led, but Chandler Smith, who runs back and forth, has won the first 2 stages. Zane Smith is our championship leader there in that 21. He runs third. He just in the last handful of laps or so passed Ben Rhodes for that top spot in the championship battle.
And then Rhodes has fallen a second behind of Zane Smith as Chandler Smith is trying to grab that third spot from Zane.
The 2 best trucks tonight, I think, have been the 18 and the 2. They have shown the most speed consistently. But since that last pit stop, the 21 of Zane Smith has been shot out of a rocket. He's losing that third-place position now to Chandler Smith. But it was a great restart for Zane Smith, and he went to work right away on Ben Rhodes to grab that lead in that position in regards to the championship.
Now he just has to preserve and make sure he doesn't overuse his truck. He's got a bit of a gap. You got to figure the caution flag's coming out, so these crew chiefs are thinking about their strategy, what they'll do. And you can see John Hunter Nemechek has rallied back and is now racing Matt Crafton for the 11th position. Still a ways to go, but still a lot of laps to go as well.
Yeah, they're about 8 seconds behind our leader right now, so they probably need some help. They're going to need a caution flag to close that gap up.
After spending 89 laps, at least a lap down, John Hunter Nemechek is back on the lead lap and is threatening to take 11th from Matt Crafton.
Matt Crafton said he just can't get off the turn, and it's evident there. You can see a huge run off of turn 2 by John Hunter. Now he's going to duck to the bottom of the 88 truck.
The 4 has kept its composure, just gone about their business, been confident in the fact that they were going to get their lap back and be on the lead lap and still have a chance. There's a lot of work left to do, but there's a lot of racing left as well with 27 to go.
Are you sure they kept their composure, Vince?
At least publicly they kept their composure. No telling what they were feeling like on the inside, but at least on the radio they kept their composure. And credit to Tony Hirschman, the spotter, Eric Phillips, the crew chief, and of course John Hunter, the driver.
Yeah, you got to be tough. You put yourself in a position to get back in the game. They've done just that.
And don't forget Kyle was down there too. Kyle Busch was down there as well, orchestrating some changes and some moves.
Radio from Zane Smith in the 21.
You got to worry about everything, and that's just a veteran crew chief. You heard Bono say, let's keep, don't forget about the 4. You need the spotter, giving information, showing, telling lap times. Everybody's in this game together.
And that would have been on Channel 2. That was a spotter and the crew chief Bono talking about the fact that Ben Rhodes has started to shift as Chandler Smith now grabs that second spot from Stuart Friesen going after Sheldon.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point, Phil, because the crew chief and spotter are carrying on a lot of communication on Channel 2 that the driver does not hear. And the driver is on a need-to-know basis. And they'll figure that out, crew chief and spotter, and then eventually relay information that's necessary for the driver to hear.
And what a race we have going on here.
They were 3 wide for a minute off turn 2. And look, Creed losing some momentum off turn 4 as he caught Danny Bone. These guys are going to close right back up on him.
Yeah, lap traffic has been a factor tonight as Friesen goes to the bottom, seeking the lead from Sheldon Creed. Friesen, a former winner here at Phoenix, victorious in 2019.
I think Sheldon's back where he wants to be, up top. I think his truck is better on the top of the racetrack.
But Chandler Smith is better than those 2 everywhere. He can take that truck anywhere he wants to go.
The last 2 Phoenix winners battling for the top spot. Creed won last year, Friesen 2 years ago.
And last week's winner, Chandler
Smith right there.
That's a bunch of winners right there, Vince.
Indeed.
Bristol winner, Chandler Smith.
Yes, what I meant.
The other Smith boy won last week.
I'm a fan
and he's
of
fourth. He's the next one back.
I'm a fan of these Smith boys. They do a nice job. There's the move around Friesen. Now he's going to set his sights on Sheldon Creed.
So Friesen just a moment ago was battling Creed for the lead. Now he's in 3rd, and Chandler Smith has the 2nd spot.
You can see the left side of the screen, Zane with a little bit over a 2nd lead on Ben Rhodes for the championship. We Talk about Chandler Smith walk-off win at Bristol to get him into the next round. Zane Smith was below the cut line at the end at the cut race in both rounds and got in.
Camping World 20 to go from Phoenix. The Camping World Truck Series season finale, race number 22 of the season.
Wow, Stuart Frieson's found something on the top side off turn 2. Looked like Smith was just going to drive away, but Stewart's gone high and making some good ground up there.
The laps click off quickly at this 1 mile racetrack. New leader with 14 to go. NASCAR Truck Series racing here on FS1, presented by Blue Emu. Chandler Smith back in front, made the pass during that commercial break as he just crosses the line. 13 laps left. Here's Chandler making the move on Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, they caught the 22 truck of Austin Wayne Self. Looked like it slowed Sheldon's momentum for just an instant. And, Chandler kept up the head of steam and eased by on the inside.
What an impressive roll for Chandler Smith it's been.
He won the pole earlier this afternoon in qualifying. He won stage 1. He won stage 2. And he is out front.
There's your battle for the championship. Zane Smith with about 20 truck lengths or so over Ben Rhodes.
Smith runs 3rd. Rhodes runs 4th.
It's maintained right around the second to 1 or 2 tenths. Gosh, for the last 10 or 15 laps now.
Ben's throwing it all out there. He's shifting in turns 1 and 2 as well now. Earlier he was just shifting down here. That's not as easy as you might think. You throw that thing down into 3rd gear, it can disrupt the handling of the truck. He's doing a nice job managing that.
Give us the pros and cons to shifting versus non-shifting.
Lap time, that's all it comes down to, especially this late in the race and what all is on the line. He can see the championship right in front of him. If he runs and shifts in both ends and he hears he's a half a tenth better, he's going to keep doing it. There's no con. It's all about speed.
As the race pace slows down, then obviously your engine's turning less RPMs. So that's why it makes it more favorable to shift. And Zane's really getting hung up behind the 25 of Willie Allen. Look how measurably Ben Rhodes gained that time.
Yeah, just a little bit of a break in momentum, and Rhodes closes the gap with 10 to go. Ben Rhodes on the tailgate of the 21 of Zane Smith. That's for the championship.
That was a great corner that time by Zane.
Rhodes trying to close the gap for much of this race. Rhodes was the championship leader.
Well, the last
now
time
Smith out front.
You saw it on TV, but the fastest truck on the track was Ben Rhodes, faster than anyone.
Rhodes taking a peek inside again. Gets
contact.
A little bit of contact and makes Smith wiggle, and Rhodes going to the inside for the advantage. Wow.
That changed in a hurry, didn't it?
Man.
Zane Smith got caught up from some lap traffic, allowed Rhodes to close the gap, and then Rhodes gives him just a little bit of a tap. And now Rhodes starts to pull away.
Now we're going to see Zane start to shift.
Yeah, we heard him the corner before this, shifting.
That's an interesting game changer, isn't it? That you can go up into 3rd gear. Took advantage of it, too.
Watch the replay here. Just a little bit of contact on that left rear. Just gets Smith loose.
And he throws it in 3rd gear, Vince, and guns it.
How about it from Rhodes' view?
He waited till after he gave him a nudge before he shifted, did he?
That's good stuff right there.
And from Zane Smith.
You know, that short run speed we saw from Zane, it's hard to have both, Phil. To have a truck as fast as Zane was at the start of the run and have it hang on throughout the whole entire run. The tire pressures heat up, your truck goes away a bit if you're set up for the shorter run, and that appears to be exactly what the case was.
Yeah, because we had not seen that short run speed out of Zane all night long, so Bono really made a nice move there. Now 6 laps to go. If the caution were to come out, it's a whole new ball game, but Ben is driving away.
And those teams are down on pit road with their tires pumped up, their crews members stretching and getting ready for the money stop of the season if we do indeed have a caution.
Rhodes has stretched it out to almost a second, and you see Bono Mannion just agonizing. He was in position with his driver to win the championship, and now they trail Ben Rhodes by about a second. And there's another truck in between them, Sheldon Creed.
Well, Ben just passed Sheldon, and Sheldon's going to fight back now.
Is this going to slow down Rhodes and allow Zane Smith to get back into it? Make sure you don't race and wreck one another. Rhodes has got to be careful here. He's trying to put Creed behind him, so it just makes it all the more difficult on Zane Smith, but you don't want to make sure it doesn't backfire on you. Rhodes gets the position.
Wow. I talked at the top, tenacious, tough, a charger. That's what Ben Rhodes is, and he's just picking them up and putting them down now.
Whoa. Meanwhile, Nemechek tries to claw back through the field. He's up to 8th. Maybe too little, too late. At least without a caution for Nemechek.
And Nemechek now up to 7th.
Oh, Jordan Anderson.
Jordan Anderson has gotten into the wall and has slowed, but we stay green. Rhodes. There's the 98 of Eckes that was passing Anderson. Rhodes continues to cruise with a little more than a second and a half advantage over Zane Smith. For Ben Rhodes, it's been a career year. He won the first 2 races of the season, the first time he's ever won multiple races in a season. And he hasn't won since. Doesn't look like he's going to win tonight. The race, anyway, but the championship is within reach as we've got 1 to go. And Chandler Smith is on his way, less than a mile away from the race win. And Ben Rhodes, less than a mile away from the championship.
And remember, Duke and Rhonda Thorson have never won the Owners' Championship. They weren't eligible with Matt Crafton, but they are with Ben Rhodes.
Rhodes not from a racing family, but he's in position to celebrate a championship with his family as Chandler Smith wins the race, and Ben Rhodes, for the first time in his career, wins the championship. Wow. Rich Lucius, the crew chief. His family is a racing family. They own a racetrack in Akron. He grew up around the racetrack his entire life. Late model crew chief, many wins. Ben Rhodes grew up with four-wheelers and dirt bikes and go-karts. Finally, his family said, maybe we should go racing. And for Rhodes, it has led to this night. Championship driver, championship crew chief. And Phil, as you said, Duke and Rhonda Thorson, they have been truck team owners since 1996. They won driver championships with Matt Crafton, but had never won the owners championship until tonight. Duke doesn't go to the racetrack very often these days, but he's in Arizona tonight.
This is the first time he's been to a race in 1.5 years. So happy for Duke and Rhonda Thorson.
Teammates. Great job. Matt Crafton saluting the
Grant Enfinger, that 9 truck, so often a Thor Sport teammate coming by to say hello. Yeah, they've got to get the lug nuts checked. You got to make sure that the lug nuts are tight. And for Ben Rhodes, that check is going on right now as you see the NASCAR official down there taking a look. And Kyle Busch dejected as John Hunter Nemechek wasn't able to pull it off tonight. Boy, Nemechek gave it a heck of an effort. He and that 4 team, after falling behind multiple laps early. But Thor Sport, as you see there, Duke and Rhonda Thorson, it's been a long time coming. Congratulations. Boy, what a celebration that'll be for that group. And they're based in Sandusky, Ohio. It's tough to get people there for sure. I mean, it's difficult to get team members to move to Sandusky, Ohio from the NASCAR base in Charlotte, and that's something that they fight. But people have been a little more apt to go there now as champions. And he's from Louisville, Kentucky. NASCAR champions from Kentucky. Go back to your mother,
the Green brothers. Yep, both won the Xfinity Series championship. So it's cool to see Kentucky celebrating in Victory Lane in Arizona.
maturity level. He was early in his career kind of a bull in the china shop, rubbed his veteran teammates wrong, and took him a while to mend those fences, but he has done so, and he knows when to go. Rich Lucius told me when it's go time, Ben knows what to do, and we saw that tonight after falling behind Zane Smith and then coming back and regaining that advantage and pulling away to secure the title.
Phil, I told you Ben Rhodes was going to win this championship.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
His 6th full season as a driver, and in this truck series.
He's only, what, 24 years old?
24, yeah. You feel like he's been around a lot longer than that and is older than that, but a young veteran. And tonight, he's a champion. Regan?
You see the emotion out of Ben Rhodes. Ben, you started the season with a win at Daytona. You finished the season winning a championship at Phoenix. You, sir, are the Camping World Truck Series champion.
Oh, I can't even breathe. That was the hardest last 40 laps I think I've ever driven in my life. I was doing things with a race car I probably shouldn't have been doing. It was dumb, but I had everything to lose. And we brought it home and we won it. I don't even know what to say. This is crazy. Bookends for the season. Man, I'm so proud of my ThorSport Racing Group. We went to Daytona, right? We didn't, this wasn't like a vision that we had, right? Everybody wants to win it, but you don't know. It's just so hard. Final four. Yeah, brother, good job. Hell yeah, good job, buddy. Good run. I just can't thank Duke and Rhonda enough. Duke and Rhonda, the reason I'm here tonight. Bombardier, Toyota, Safelite for him. They were a sponsor of mine at one time. Farm Paint, Menards, hey, Wiley X. We got so many people that help us. I can't even talk right now. I'm so excited.
Ben, you gave up position on the 21 of Zane Smith at one point there. Looked like he had driven away from you. All of a sudden, your truck found another gear. I don't know if you changed something or something happened to your truck. Next thing we know, you're on the back bumper. A little contact. You're an aggressive guy, but championship situation, did you do what you had to?
Yeah! Yeah, we did what we had to. Like that, buddy. Good job. There you go, buddy. Yeah!
Swamp donkey I was talking about. Way to drive, bud. Way to drive. Well done.
A first-year group, really. I mean, it's he's been at ThorSport several years, but this is the first year that Ben has worked with his crew chief, Rich Lucius, and their engineer, Anthony Sergi, a first-year engineer. He's a late model racer from Florida and working as an engineer, and he and Rich Lucius and Ben Rhodes together for the first time this season. They came out of the gate with back-to-back wins, and they close it with a season championship. Well done. Back downstairs, check in with Josh Sims.
Yeah, I'm here with Zane Smith, who battled hard tonight, briefly took the lead over Ben Rhodes, but ultimately came home 5th behind Ben Rhodes. What more did you need tonight to come home with the title?
Honestly, just for my truck to turn, man. We struggled with that since we unloaded, but still insane year, really. I mean, we were, I don't know, 8 laps away from winning the championship. I've had so much support from Maury Gallagher, Mike Beam, MRC Construction, all the people that have helped me get to this point. RTA, GigFast Internet, Team Chevy. I almost got Chevy. Another one, I don't know, I tried using all my tools from my side of things, but just could not get the thing to turn. We just fought that all night.
Zane Smith coming home 5th tonight, just short of catching Ben Rhodes in the end. Vince?
Hard to believe that that young man still doesn't have a job for next year. So we'll see what the future holds for him. What an exciting finish tonight. The battle for the race win and the championship. Coming back, stay with us. More from Phoenix Raceway. Ben Rhodes doing some championship donuts. Finished 3rd in the race, but the best of the championship 4 contenders. And it's a ThorSport celebration. First time in organization history that they have won the Drivers' Championship and the Owners' Championship. And for Rhodes, the 24-year-old from Kentucky, a night he'll never forget. On the flip side of that, the agony of John Hunter Nemechek. Downstairs to Josh.
And it's amazing John Hunter Nemechek finished 7th, given everything you went through tonight. I know you're short of the championship, and that's what mattered. Can you bring me through everything you had to battle out there tonight?
Yeah, got run into in the first corner, got in the fence. Somebody else ran into us on the left side. I mean, this thing's killed pretty much, but had a left front tire go flat, went down 2 laps, battled back, got both of our laps back, and I don't know, just short, needed more laps, I guess. I felt like we had the best truck tonight, playoff-wise for sure. I mean, I drove from pretty much last to 7th there, and was running down Ben and Zane for the championship. Just not enough. That's what's frustrating. But huge shout out to all of our partners. I'm disappointed, frustrated. Thank you, Pi Barker, Fire Alarm Services, Romco, Barry's Bullets, Toyota, Kyle, everyone. Thankful for the opportunity. We came here to win races this year. We succeeded. Came up short of the championship. So I'll be #back for more next year.
Tough finish for John Hunter Nemechek, still 5 wins this season. Regan?
Well, the other Kyle Busch Motorsports truck in victory lane, Chandler Smith. Second win of the year for Chandler. This one comes at the end of the season. Chandler, as he congratulates his team here. Obviously very excited, a big moment for all of these guys. Chandler, second win of the season, comes at the end of the season, as well as the Rookie of the Year. What a wonderful night for you.
Yeah, for sure. First and foremost, all glory to the man upstairs, man. And without him, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't have all these awesome relationships with all these, my racing family. This is my family. Also, he's blessed me with a great family, and just being around great people and being able to come out here, Phoenix Raceway, in front of these fans tonight, and be able to compete in high-tier equipment. I'm just really blessed right now, and can't thank Safelite, Toyota Racing, Danny, KBM, Kyle, everybody that goes down the line that makes this happen.
Congratulations, Chandler. Vince?
10th win of the season for Kyle Busch Motorsports, the 90th win in their Truck Series history. But this night belongs to Ben Rhodes and ThorSport, shining up that championship trophy. Perfect setting tonight, Phoenix Raceway, as we crown a champion. He's the 24-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky. Ben Rhodes wins the championship tonight. His previous best finish in the championship was 5th back in 2017. But he got it done tonight for his first ever championship. Got to go back to his K&N East title in 2014. I think the last time he won a championship of any sort. So much deserved for Ben Rhodes. I know he can't wait to get his hands on that trophy. Let's go to the championship stage where Jamie Little is there. Jamie.
Thank you very much, Vince. There's a lot of disbelief behind me of Ben Rhodes. The new champion steps up, and it is time for the moment, for the trophy presentation for the Camping World Truck Series. And here joining me is NASCAR President Steve Phelps. Steve?
Thank you, Jamie. Ben, you started off the season with 2 wins, and then you guys battled and battled and battled. An awful lot like what happened tonight. So on behalf of everyone at NASCAR, our entire industry, these amazing race fans here at Phoenix Raceway, and the millions of fans around the world, I want to congratulate you on being our 2021 Camping World Truck Series champion. I'm going to hand it over to Tamara Ward from Camping World to make the presentation of the trophy.
Thank you, Steve. It's been a great night. Ben, we are so proud of you. I think actually I owe you a check for $140,000 in bonus money from Camping World, so we'll have to talk about how you're going to spend that later on. You forgot about that.
Thank you for reminding me. That is awesome. I love you guys.
All right, so listen, on behalf of everyone at Camping World and our 1,000 of associates, we wanted to say congratulations to be the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series 2021 champion. And Steve and I are going to pass you the trophy. Let me give this to Jamie.
And there it is. Ben, I know we've talked all day, and I'll tell you what, you have been the loosest driver of the entire field today. Coming into this, where did you see your expectations and your chances to be standing right here?
This sounds weird, but I don't know. It felt special from the time I got here, but I didn't want to ruin it. You know, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to do anything out of context. I just wanted to stay 100% focused, and I can't even believe it, Jamie. Like, I don't know, it felt like a special day. Everybody was so amped up and so calm and relaxed, but I thought it was gone. When the 21 drove past me, I thought it was all over. And he just kept driving away further and further and further. And by the end of the race, when everybody started wearing their stuff out, I didn't think I had anything left. I was sideways after every corner, but we had just enough, just enough.
I know Duke and Rhonda have meant a lot to you, a lot to your career. You've just delivered them the first Owners Championship. Just talk about what they've done for you and what this means.
Well, I wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for Duke and Rhonda. They gave me my opportunity in this sport. They were my very first full-time National Series team that I raced for, and I've been with them ever since. They're so amazing, and I can't even begin to thank them enough. This has just been the ride of a lifetime, and I hope it's not over. I want to keep going now. This is amazing. This is a feeling that you get, you savor, and you enjoy for the rest of your life, but you're hungry for more. And you know what? I love this, but I love racing even more, so Daytona can't get here quick enough now.
How about Ben Rhodes representing Kentucky? He is your 2021 Camping World Series champion.
What a night in Phoenix. Ben Rhodes celebrates as the season champion. It's a hug from Chandler Smith, who won the race. And oh yeah, it is a team sport. You better believe it. And Matt Crafton, the teammate, the veteran, giving him the big hug and the opportunity to lift the trophy. He will never forget it, that's for sure. Ben Rhodes The driver champion, Thor Sport, first time ever. The owner champion, they've been in the sport since '96. Toyota won the first 7 races of the season and takes home the manufacturer championship. And congratulations to Chandler Smith, not only won the race tonight, but won the Rookie of the Year battle as well. Well, for Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons, been a great night tonight. Final thoughts about what you saw this evening?
I just love the emotion. You could tell Ben Rhodes was in disbelief and so thankful and so happy that he got to win on one of NASCAR's biggest stages. A great race, a lot of entertaining, a lot of twists and turns along the way. But, man, what a great champion Ben Rhodes is going to be. I'm really proud of him and thankful that he has this opportunity.
Yeah, what a worthy champion. What a great season we had, too. We started out, Ben Rhodes started out by winning the first 2 at Daytona, finished off with a championship, but we had some great racing. Had 9 of our top 10 finishers were all playoff drivers. Yeah, so that's the cream rose to the top this year. Our 10 playoff drivers were terrific.
Yeah, I think, you know, we went to some different venues this season. We went to Coda. Todd Gilliland got that win. We raced on the dirt at Knoxville, Bristol. I mean, it's just been a unique season. Faced some different challenges, but man, what a great year.
Yeah, the lights went out in St. Louis one night. We had a little bit of everything this season, but man, it's been so much fun, so unpredictable. You didn't know who was going to step up because it seemed like each week it was a new guy that said, I'm here to race you guys, and Chandler Smith took them down tonight.
And we talked at the beginning of the show why those 4 drivers were going to win, and they all could have won. Yeah. But Ben Rhodes stepped up at the end.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. We couldn't have done it without Jamie Little, Regan Smith, Josh Sims down on pit road. Of course, our producer, Mark Smith, our director, Roger Vincent, our pit producer, Caleb Combs, graphics from Benny Curtis. So many people to mention. And it was a team effort from our side and a team effort from that one as well. Ben Rhodes, the season champion. Let's go to our studio in Charlotte.
Thank you, Vince. Well, what an incredible night it has been for Ben Rhodes, who is officially the 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion. And I am joined, of course, by Trevor Bayne, Todd Bodine here in the studio. And guys, this race gave us a little bit of everything we wanted, but what an incredible moment for Ben Rhodes, right, Todd?
Oh, man, absolutely. You know, you watch Ben up there and you see this happy guy and what a great interview he is, but that's Ben all the time. He's just such a good person. He's a good kid. I love him. I've gotten to know him a little bit. He's a good kid. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
Todd, I almost feel like his emotion says it's better than he expected. Like the disbelief, he's grabbing his face. He's like, I cannot even believe how this feels. But, I mean, they started the season this way. They ended it this way. It doesn't get much better than that.
It certainly does not. And the celebrations will continue for Ben Rhodes. And we're going to be breaking down, of course, all things post-race and talking more about our brand new champion. More coverage after this. Welcome back to coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship evening, where Ben Rhodes officially holds the title in the Truck Series. And what an incredible accomplishment it is for that young racer and his team. Joined by Trevor Bayne, Todd Bodine, of course, here in the Race Day studio. Todd, we've known Ben for a very long time. He's been racing in this series since 2014, but this is the biggest honor of his career.
Oh, by a long shot. You know, I remember it was fun, Trevor, watching him on that stage and the emotions, and he couldn't believe it. This just happened. I just became champion, and I remember feeling that same emotion in Homestead. It's like, what is going on? You work your whole life, you race short tracks, you crash trucks and cars, and you finally get to this point, and it's like, oh my Lord, here we are. I finally did it. And so happy for him. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, and I mean, to watch him like have that grit to know when Zane Smith was getting away, all right, I still got a shot, and to run him back down and make that pass, I mean, that was incredible to watch. But for me, I mean, you think about his whole life getting to this point. Like you said, it's not just a season. You know, we always talk about this season's leading to a championship. He's literally been doing this probably since he was 5 years old, and this is the highlight of his life right now, so it's awesome.
And that's the part that nobody really understands, is this is just one moment. It was a long process to get here, and a lot of work, and it's fun to see all that emotion.
And a lot of work just in this race alone. Let's go ahead and see how Ben Rhodes' night unfolded out at Phoenix Raceway. It was overall a relatively calm night compared to some guys, right? This, of course, being the biggest moment, Trevor, the pass designed to go on Zane Smith.
I like that aggressive, let's get it done move there. He didn't waste any time. He didn't let Zane stay beside of him to keep it on his door. He said, I'm going to move him out of the way and keep going.
You know, I said to Trevor in the middle of that run, I think Zane's truck's going to go away. Let's see what Ben can do. Yeah. And sure enough, Zane's truck went away. Ben's truck got better. And there they go. Pass for the championship right there.
And there, of course, the crew chief, Rich Blushes, celebrating as well. And here's some specifics about our champion on the year that he's had 2 wins. If you remember, he won the first 2 races of the year, both of them at Daytona. Lots of top 5s, lots of top 10s as well to his credit. But the most important, of course, is the title. Here is Ben after the race. Okay, well, we're not going to hear from Ben after the race. All right, let's discuss, though, more about Ben's win. You talked about it. You never forget your first, of course, your title. But a lot of us probably felt like this was a long time coming.
It was, but, you know, I want to kind of go to a different subject for a second. Because his crew chief, Rich Lucius, you know, I talked about him on the race, in the pre-race show. This is his first shot as a full-time crew chief in the Truck Series. And when I raced at ThorSport, Rich was my truck chief. And I got to know him on a personal level, and his work ethic, and what he thinks about racing. And for you guys watching, this is the next crew chief that's going to be a superstar. I really believe that. I said it back then, and I'm saying it now. I am so happy for Rich to be able to do this and make this accomplishment. I'm very proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, what did you make of it?
It's a whole team effort. We talk about Ben Rhodes, but for owners, for crew chiefs, for pit crew members, for, you know, you live it with your husband there being a car chief. I mean, it's just, there's this whole build-up, and it takes everybody. We saw tonight that Ben had to be just about perfect to win this thing, and you really have to be dialed in as a team. I think winning early in the season really allowed this team to do that. It allowed them to take the pressure off all season long, and we've heard Ben talk about it throughout the whole playoffs. He was thinking about Phoenix, which to me was risky. As I said earlier, you can't take your eye off the ball in this because you could find yourself out of the championship 4. But these guys, from the very beginning of the season, figured out their sweet spot. It kept Ben calm on the racetrack, kept his crew guys calm, and they could go to work on these trucks and make them better for the last race.
And let's give a shout out to the 2 longest existing truck owners, Duke and Rhonda Thorsten.
Yes,
oh man,
absolutely.
Incredible, Duke. Congratulations. To be able to get 3 championships with Matt was outstanding. To get it with another guy, it shows you how strong their team is, and the effort that Duke and Rhonda have put behind it, and given their heart and soul to this team. Outstanding run.
We'll talk more, Ben, as the post-race coverage continues, but I want to revisit the past that happened, of course, with Zane Smith. We looked at it a moment ago, but this was the turning point of the race, and you see it here when Ben Rhodes was able to make the pass on Zane Smith, and then at this point, it was somewhat smooth sailing for him, but of course, a huge disappointment for Zane Smith, who has now finished 2nd in the Truck Series standings 2 years in a row. What did you make of his night, Trevor?
That's a sinking feeling. You know, he talked in his interview, and he was dejected. He said, you know, the thing got tight. I couldn't get it to turn. And, man, that's the worst feeling in the world as a driver, to have a tight truck or car, because there's not much you can do. He said, I used all the tools in my toolbox, and he only needed to hang on for 9 more laps, but that right front was gone. I mean, he took off on the short run, and then he started falling back on the long run, and that's just hard. You know, you fight so hard, and to come up 1 position short 2 years in a row, I mean, literally 9 laps away from winning a championship. That's a hard night right there.
Yeah, you know, and we saw the pass and Ben getting in the back of him, and on the TV there, he talked about, Vince talked about moving him, right? Getting in the back of him. Ben didn't move him. Zane went in there, tried to slow that truck down because it was so tight. He knew he had to protect the bottom and just couldn't hold it down. Ben got in the back of him. You know, I feel sorry for Zane.
Yeah.
Well, we don't feel sorry for this guy, though, who is right now celebrating, as you see.
Got the goggles on.
And the team, they are having a great time, as they should be. And we heard Ben saying on his post-race interview the fact that he wants to get back out to Daytona and just continue racing because he's a racer.
I hope that was a new one out of his locker.
I love it. That is a new way to celebrate, indeed. But how does this propel him into the future, Todd? Because once you get that first championship, do you feel like the sky is kind of the limit in terms of your confidence?
Well, I think that it started at Daytona. You know, we talked about in the pre-race show again. After winning those 2 races at Daytona, it allowed Ben the opportunity, afforded him the opportunity to relax. You know, they knew they were going into playoffs. Let's just see how this year settles out. And Ben became a different driver, I think. He really figured out hey, I don't have to race every lap to the limit. I need to get to the end of the race, put myself in a position. And that's what he learned. And that patience that he got from that, I definitely think it paid off tonight and will pay off in the future.
What do you think, Char?
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of this season for him. He didn't have to be perfect all year long because of this format. And, you know, this format made it really fun as a fan to watch because you never knew who was going to be in, who was going to be out, and even down to the last 9 laps of the season, you had to be glued to the TV. I mean, we could have had a caution with 1 to go and it gets shaken up. So that's what I love about our sport. You know, you've got to watch every single lap to know what's going to happen.
This playoff format never disappoints, and we're going to continue to break down the championship race after this right here on FS1. But the race just concluding, and our champion, of course, is this guy right here, Ben Rhodes, giving the cheers there for his crew chief. More coverage, and Matt Crafton, we'll hear from him next. Stay with us on FS1. Utah at Stanford, that's coming up next, the big Pac-12 matchup for football. But back to Phoenix Raceway, where we now have a new champion in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. And of course, that would be young Ben Rhodes getting it done in Arizona this evening. And some specifics about our new champion for Ben Rhodes. He's been racing in this series for a long time, since 2014. 24 years old, from Louisville, Kentucky, his first championship in his 6th full-time season. 2 wins, of course, this year, both of them happening out at Daytona, the Super Speedway, and the road course as well. And now he is officially the champion as well. So, guys, this is an incredible moment for Ben Rhodes, one in which he will never forget. And we can't not continue to celebrate him, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I could not believe it when we were prepping for this race, kind of looking at stats and all that, that Ben hadn't been in the championship 4 yet. I kept messing that up almost because he's been here for a while.
You'll remember it now.
I'll remember now. But, you know, he's been around. He's been a contender all the time for these races and championships, I've felt like. And tonight, he solidified that. I feel like he made his mark and said, hey, you know, this is my mark on the series, and I'm here to stay.
Yeah, you know, I didn't get to race against Ben in the trucks. He came in after I had
left. She said a long time ago he started racing.
Yeah,
what does that make you?
So longer, further back for him.
But for me, it's been really fun to be able to do this show, be a part of the series still, and watch Ben's growth over the last 6 years. You know, he started off as this young guy wrecking a lot. Duke and Rhonda put a lot of trucks under him, fixed a lot of trucks, but he's steadily gotten better and better. And then he got to the point where he was fast every week, but still made some bad decisions and got in a little trouble. And it's like I said earlier, this year, it's like that light switch has just finally clicked, and he became a veteran driver who understands how to race these races. And that's the key, is how to race these races and get to the end and put yourself in position to have the opportunity to win. And he's done a great job all year.
Yeah, he absolutely sees that opportunity in front of him. Now, of course, he is a champion. So one guy who, of course, went to congratulate Ben Rhodes was Matt Crafton, who's a 3-time champion in the series. You see, well, this is his version of congratulating him, pouring the water on his friend Ben Rhodes there, who is the new champion. Now let's send it to Josh Sims.
Matt Crafton didn't have the night he wanted. It comes up short of a championship. Can you let me know what more you needed and what you were battling tonight?
Just fought really free off, center off, really bad all night. Didn't go down without swinging. I mean, we made a lot of changes tonight, but we just never could make a change and say, that's it, we nailed it. We just fought the same thing all night. Junior and these guys worked really hard. Just disappointing, but very happy for Duke and Rhonda and Ben Rhodes and that whole group over there. I mean, well deserved. They executed and did it right tonight.
Matt Crafton, disappointed, but comes home 12th tonight. Guys.
Thank you, Josh. All right, let's dive into Matt Crafton's night a little bit. What did you make of the race that he had there for the past champion?
Well, that wasn't the race he wanted. I mean, if you're in this championship hunt and you're fast and something happens, that's one thing. But, man, they weren't really a threat all night tonight, and that's hard. I mean, I think Matt kind of saw this coming a little bit when I watched his demeanor going into this race. It was almost like he took this veteran approach of mind games because he knew they didn't have the speed.
You've been wanting to say that all night.
I've been wanting to say it all night. I watch his interviews, and I'm like, Matt doesn't even have it in him to be mean. but he's trying. He's trying to get in their heads. He tried a different approach, and he didn't have the speed tonight to make it happen.
No, you know, he said about practice that they were really loose, and they tightened it up, and then Junior went back on it and loosened it back up. To me, and you've been there, Trevor, what you usually unload with is what you're going to race with. And if it was loose in the practice, it's going to be loose in the race. And sure enough, they just couldn't fix it. You heard him in the race. He just couldn't get up off the corner. You know, I hate to bring this up, but that's only 3 top 5s in the last 11 starts now.
Look at you.
There, yeah, it's just not one of his good racetracks.
Hey, guys, the season has come to a close for the Truck Series. How would you sum up the year that you've seen in trucks?
Well, I've had a great time being a part of this, being a part of watching the trucks. I mean, you kind of watch in a different light and a different detail once you're in here with you guys and you need to know what's going on. But I've loved watching this season. I mean, you know, they're fun to drive, but man, as a fan, it's a great series to watch as well.
It is, you know, and we see it every week, right? We got a group of guys that go out there and all they know is one thing, and that's put that right foot down and go as fast as these trucks are going to go. And that's always fun to watch. And then we've got such a great group of kids that are racing these things. And we talk a little about that video game mentality, and that makes it fun to watch too. But it's been a great season, a lot of action, a lot of fun, some drama along the way.
Oh, yes.
A new champion. Doesn't get any better. Daytona we got next week, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. Well, great job to the two of you, Todd Bodine, Trevor Bayne, also our other member, Phil Parsons, our producer, Greg Kikali, our entire staff at Fox Sports, who does a fantastic job. Coming up next, it will be Pac-12 football. That's Utah at Stanford. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you next season.